Yeah, this is case number 78 on the calendar, the matter of Ellsworth versus Neri Sanchez. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Miss Ellsworth, this young man used to be your boyfriend, and you are Miss Neri, you are his mother.
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, you lived for a period of time with your boyfriend and his mother, and you made each of them a series of loans. His mother at some point told you to leave the house. You left. You want your money. Each of the defendants say that they owe you nothing. Money that you gave Miss Neri was for expenses, your expenses while you lived in the house. And her son James says anything that you gave him were gifts because he took care of certain things for you. When did you move in with Miss Neri and her son?
In June of 2004.
And what were you doing at the time?
At the time, I was working for Forever 21.
Now tell me about the first loan you made to Mrs. Neri.
The loan I had made to Mrs. Neri was for $2,000. She said she had needed it for the down payment on the house that we were going to move into. She stated that she had asked her dad to borrow the money, and he had said no, and that I was the last resort, and if I couldn't loan her the money, we would have nowhere to live.
Where had you been living?
I had been living with them in an apartment.
So you all wanted to move someplace else together. Did you sign a lease?
Yes, I did, unfortunately.
On the new place?
On the new place, yes. I was told that I was not going to be a renter on the house, and that the only reason why I needed to sign the paperwork was because I was over 18.
You have a copy of the lease?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please. Well, the three of you were clearly on the lease, right?
Yeah.
So you know, I mean, you read this document, didn't you?
I didn't read the whole thing, no.
Why not?
Because she said she needed it signed, and so she stated that,
Miss Ellsworth, you go to school?
Yes.
What school do you go to?
Bakersfield College.
I assume that, at least in your spare time when you were younger, you watched a little television?
Yes, I do.
You watched enough courtroom television to know that you're not supposed to sign something that you don't read?
Yes.
So let's not play with each other. So you signed it.
Yes.
And you should have read it. And if you didn't read it, that's not my problem.
Yeah. I did pay rent on the house.
Until you were evicted?
Yes, pretty much.
How much was security and the deposit on this apartment?
I think altogether was like $1,800. I'm not quite sure.
$1,850?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that money from?
From her, because the reason why we had to move from the apartment is I was at the apartment for over a year already. I came home one day from work, and she was living in my apartment. I told my son, look, this cannot work. You know, I don't want her living here. You know, she has a home. She told me she had nowhere to go because her mom was an abusive mother. So, you know, I kind of felt sorry for her. So the next thing I knew, her dog Louie, she has a little dog Louie, he was tearing up the curtains and everything. So I'm a single mom. I couldn't just come up with that money just to move. So, you know, I had no choice. I asked my dad, and my dad goes, well, it's your fault. You should have never let her move in. You know, why you have to move, because the reason why we had to move, because she wasn't on the lease. It was breach of contract, they said.
I can understand if you're moving in together, she's on the lease, she should pay a third of $1,850.
Okay, we moved in that home after we got kicked out of the apartment.
Listen to me.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to get kicked out of the apartment. All you have to do is put the two of them out. And you can stay.
Right. Well,
he's not going anywhere without her. You could stay. Put them out.
No, she said we had to move.
Listen to me.
Uh-huh.
$1,850. Only a third of that. She's on the lease. Only a third of that is hers.
Right.
Why did you throw her out?
I didn't throw her out. She was there. Her and my son were always arguing. It got to the point where I'd come out of work and I didn't want to go home anymore. She was possessive with my son, very possessive with my son.
Did you tell her to leave?
I did not tell her she had to leave. She got upset because I came home one day, the place was dirty. I figured if I'm working, in their home, they should at least have the place clean. We got in an argument. My son heard me say, me and my son were arguing. She got up and she left. I didn't verbally say, oh, Aubrey, you have to leave.
She had told me all the time that I had brought sin into her house and that I was bringing chaos and that she didn't want me living there. Her son told me numerous times, I don't have to leave, it's you that has to leave. My mom doesn't want you living here. She threatened to kick him out all the time. She threatened to kick me out all the time just to have, in my opinion, a control.
What?
First of all, my mom never kicked her out. Me and Aubrey used to argue a lot. Yeah, we did.
So it's a good thing she left, right?
No, I don't know if it's a good thing.
Listen to what I said. Stop thinking about what you're going to say next and start listening to my question. So it's a good thing that she left.
Yes.
For the sake
Stop.
of argument,
I'm speaking to you.
Hey.
Yeah, give him a good one.
Okay.
So it's a good thing that she left.
Yes, but she
And
wasn't told to leave.
No, it came to her by mental telepathy, like Karnak, you know. You wanted her to leave, and your mother wanted her to leave.
Honestly, no, I didn't want her to leave. Honestly,
He
no, I
did.
didn't.
He was upset and crying. I didn't ask her to leave because she was still on the lease. It was up to, like, I think March. She left on her own. She came out storming, and she left on her own. That's the honest to
All
God
right, you
truth.
got $1,850, Miss Ellsworth. That she has to give you back. I don't believe. How old are you?
In my 30s, late 30s.
30, in my 30s, late 30s.
Yeah.
What kind of an answer is that? How old are you?
39.
She's 18. You're 21 years her senior. She doesn't support you. You take care of her. All right. Don't go into little things with me. I'm not interested in little things. What does he owe you for?
He owes me for his truck. I helped him fix his truck. I got him a new tire, which was $76. And then I had helped him fix his truck because he had gotten rear-ended February of 2004. He could not.
February of 2004?
Yes.
Where were you for the last year?
I've been trying to collect it. We didn't get the truck, though, starting to fix until September.
Does that make sense to you?
She didn't give me all the money.
What did she give you?
I paid her half of the money back.
What did she give you is my question.
All she gave me was $150 because I paid $150 of it back to her, so it totaled out to $300. And with my $150 coming back to her, it canceled out. And then I went and paid a couple months of rent for her that she didn't pick up on. And this whole thing, we both assumed that we were just going to break it off even like that. Because, like, I mean, we were living together, and it's like, then when we break up, she goes, oh, well, now you owe me for this and you owe me for that.
Do you want to know something, Mr. Sanchez?
Yeah.
I agree with you. How's that?
I mean, like,
I agree with you.
I honestly believe if we were still together.
Just a second. Give it to him good.
I honestly,
Give it to him good. Miss
I
Neary.
honestly-
Miss Neary. Good. Give it to him good. Because he doesn't get it. I just said I agree with you.
Okay.
Stop. No more.
Listen to your mother.
Can I just add one last thing then?
Why do you want to add something? I just said I agree with you.
Don't.
You want to tell her you love her? You want to get married? You want to propose to her here?
No, I already have
Then
another
just listen to your mother.
girlfriend.
Your mother's telling you to shut up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It wasn't my truck.
Listen, Miss
You didn't have
Ellsworth.
a car for a while, and I was
Mr.
driving
Sanchez,
you working
you want
back.
your mother to slap you upside the head?
And later today,
He was stealing from the casino.
Yes, ma'am.
Nobody forces you to steal, ma'am.
Well, this gentleman here did.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Aubrey Ellsworth says both her ex-boyfriend and his mother owe her money. James Sanchez and Joanne Neri claim Aubrey is controlling and possessive.
When you're in a relationship and you have $100 here and $76 there and $40 there and $50 there, courts don't want to get involved with that if the relationship doesn't work out.
It wasn't my truck.
I don't care whose truck it was. It wasn't my truck.
You drove it.
It was a truck that
Like
you
it was
at least
yours?
rode in. That's what you do when people live together.
Not when it gets impounded. He got it impounded.
Listen, Miss
You didn't
Ellsworth.
have a car for a while, and I was
Mr.
driving
Sanchez,
you working
you
back.
want me to? You want your mother to slap you upside the head?
No.
She's going to do it, right?
Yeah.
Next time he opens his mouth, Miss Neary, give it to him good. You don't have a lawsuit against Mr. Sanchez. Mr. Sanchez and you live together in a monogamous, physical relationship, and I'm certain that during the time that you lived together, you went out to eat, he paid, sometimes you paid, other times you went to a movie, you went to a fair, you went out, he bought you a Frankfurter, he bought you a cup of coffee, you bought him,
I wish it
whatever
were
it
like
is.
that.
Whatever it
It's hard
is.
to be like that if you're as jealous as you are. If you weren't so jealous, it could have been better.
No.
I have-
Harder!
I have a restraining
Harder!
order on him.
Harder! Judgment for the
Aubrey,
plaintiff,
there's
that
a
is
court-
Miss Neary, in the amount of $1,850. Your lawsuit with regard to Mr. Sanchez is dismissed. That's all.
All these excuse me, step out.
He became violent with me, and he started stalking me, following me, going to my job.
As far as harassing and stalking, she was the one writing me letters all day in class and following me and my new girlfriend outside of school.
He wanted to marry me. He wanted to be with me. It became an obsession that became violent and physical.
She socked me a couple times where I had to call the cops on her and almost have her put in jail.
It got to a point to where my work was saying, I'll put the restraining order on him for you if you don't.
She's mad because I don't want to get back with her and I found a better girl.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Richter versus Falk. Step forward, please.
20-year-old physical therapy technician Levita Richter is suing her former friend, 21-year-old caregiver Adriana Falk, for bail money, a loan to get her car fixed, and the cost of a bridesmaid's dress.
Miss Richter, you and the defendant had been friends, according to the complaint that I read.
Yes, Your Honor.
And there was a point when she was in some difficulty. Did she come to live with you at that point?
Yes, she did, Your Honor.
When was that?
About October?
October of 2004?
Yes.
Who were you living with?
My fiance?
Who's now your husband?
Yes.
Is that him?
No.
Who was this?
This is my witness.
According to you, there are 2 loans outstanding. And in addition to the 2 loans, you claim that Miss Falk owes you for this bridesmaid's dress. I assume that this is the bridesmaid's dress. She was an attendant at your wedding. They were supposed to pay for their own dresses. You claim she did not pay for hers.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Falk says that both of those times when you gave her the money, it was a gift, and the bridesmaid's dress she says she paid for even though you still have it.
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you go to live with Miss Richter and her fiancé, Miss Falk?
I was having some problems with my mother and needed to get out of the situation that I was in.
Now, when was the first time that she gave you money?
When this guy right over here got me into trouble at my employment, I was taken to jail because of him and his roommates and what they had asked me to do for them. And
Well, why don't you explain that to me further?
okay, I was working at Colusa Casino in Colusa County. And
Where is that?
Part of Northern California.
Go ahead.
Me and Mr. Weiser had started dating, and him and his roommates knew obviously that I worked at a casino and asked me if I could possibly give them players cards with instant rewards on them, which is like a credit, and they can go in the casino and play. Well, I told them a number of times I didn't want to do it. I didn't feel comfortable doing it. Now I'm being charged for all 4 of those gentlemen and what they asked me to do.
Just a second. So they asked you to get them these cards, and you said no. So how could you be charged with anything?
Because I did it anyways.
Oh, so you did it. You did something illegal.
Yes, ma'am.
Levita Richter says former friend Adriana Falk owes for bail money, a loan to have her car fixed, and the cost of a bridesmaid's dress.
Explain to me how you did something illegal.
I would go in and add the instant rewards to their cards. That gentleman right there would come in and play his, not only, and all 4 of
I
his
don't
roommates'
understand the
cards.
instant rewards. What does that mean?
It's just like a credit you can go in and play on slot machines. You can't cash it out. The only thing you cash out is what you win, but you cannot cash out anything on that card.
But you can play with it.
Yeah.
And you knew you were doing, in effect, you were stealing from the casino.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Nobody forces you to steal, madam. That's
Well,
not
this
anybody.
gentleman here did.
No, he didn't. No, Miss Falk. That's not true. If I asked Bird to falsify a document for me, and I've known him for a very long time, 25 years?
At least.
At least. I guarantee you, he would not do it for me. And he likes me. And if I asked somebody that I cared about to do something illegal, I would not be angry if they said, no, that's illegal.
Well, they were when I said no.
So then what you say to somebody who's asking you to do something wrong is, I'm sorry, you can be angry, and if you want to not see me anymore, you don't see me anymore. If you want to not be my friend, you don't want to be my boyfriend, whatever it is. But you don't blame somebody else for you're doing something criminal.
There are charges pending on them, but I don't know what they are yet.
Are there charges pending against you?
Yes, there is.
For what?
For second-degree burglary, and it's burglary in the second degree, and then the grand theft as well.
Oh, well, I'm not going to ask you any questions about that because those matters are pending. I'm sorry. You represented by an attorney with regard to that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Stupid. Anyway, you got into trouble and she bailed you out?
Yeah. He was on his way home, and he called her and asked her to bail me out of jail.
Who asked
I
her?
had called Mr. Weiser and told him that I was in jail because he knew that I was going to meet with the security officers at the casino that morning. Then I ended up being arrested after about an hour or 2 of questioning. I was taken into custody and arrested, and I called him. He was the first person that I was able to call, and he called her and asked her to bail me out.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Who called?
The bail bond gentleman called me at
Oh,
work.
but she didn't call you.
I spoke to her, and she asked me to come bail her out.
When? You said the bail bondsman called.
I talked to her after the bail bonds gentleman called. and I was allowed to talk to her. And she was crying. She said, "Please come get me out of this place."
You went there and you bailed her out?
Yes.
What arrangements did you make for her to pay you back?
She was to pay me back. She had promised me that she would pay me back because that's just, I wasn't just going to give it to her. I was getting married in a few months and I didn't have that money to spare.
Well, I want to know what conversation did you have with her with regard to paying you back? Don't tell me what she understood.
She
Ms.
just
Richter.
said, you know, I promise that I'll pay you back. I thank you for bailing me out.
When did she say that to you?
In front of the bail bond gentleman, when we were signing these papers.
Let me see the papers. Okay, what was the next amount of money?
It was the
Explain.
$500 that I loaned her to have her car fixed.
Okay, let me hear.
She was driving a Geo Metro. It needed some repairs. It was $1,000 to have it fixed. Matt was my witness. He was going to pay half, and I was going to pay the other half. I wrote him a check. He deposited it into his bank account, and he
Well,
used
just a
his credit
second.
card.
Why were you going to pay half? I don't hear what...
She didn't have the money to pay it, and it needed to be fixed, or else she wouldn't be able to drive back and forth to work.
Well, when did you have that discussion with her, Miss Richter?
It was...
On the phone while I was at Winco.
It was not on the phone. She was
Oh,
in my...
just a minute. Where was it?
I was at Winco with Mr. Weiser at the time, and she called me and told me that her and her husband now were going to loan me the $500.
No, just a second. She said she and her husband were going to loan you the $500. Perfect. And she did. So why don't you have to pay her back?
She had me arrested.
What did she have you arrested for?
Charges on credit card fraud.
And that's another thing that's pending against you? I don't want to hear about it. So she's alleging that you took money from her credit cards. And she called and had you arrested. Sounds right to me. $815 so far. Now let's hear about the bridesmaid's dress.
Bridesmaid's dress, I was getting married March. She was my maid of honor. I have a list of the other two ladies that were my bridesmaids. They knew they were all to pay for the dress. If they did not pay for the dress, they were to not be in the wedding. Being she was my supposed best friend living with me, I assumed that she would pay me back for it.
Don't assume anything.
That's my fault.
That's your fault is right. It's a very nice dress. I hope you can wear it. You don't assume anything. After she didn't have $315, which she didn't give you back for the bail bondsman, and $500 she didn't have for her car, really $1,000 she didn't have for her car, how you could legitimately expect her to pay for a dress, expect her to pay for a dress, is something I quite frankly don't understand. So it looks like a very nice dress. It's yours. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $815. Thanks. That's all.
All you excused, you may step out.
She...
Eyes. Yes, case number 17 on the calendar in the matter of Ewing versus West.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Ms. Ewing, it is your claim that the defendant owes you for an accident that he had with your car while he was driving your car with your permission, and some small utility bill from when he left the house and you were living together. Let's deal with the accident, please, and not this utility bill. All right?
Okay.
Good. How long were you living together?
In December, it was probably about 9 months.
Okay. Sir, let's start with you. When was the accident?
Approximately December, I believe.
You want to tell me what happened?
Basically, she asked me if I could drive her to work because she was running late. Dropped her off at work, was driving to a friend of mine's house, and was...
Well, why were you dropping her off at work, sir? You were borrowing her car?
She was late, and...
So she doesn't drive?
Yes, she does, but she was late. She had asked me if I could drop her off.
Mr. West, if she's going to work and if she's late, why isn't she driving her own car?
She could put her makeup on the car on the way to work. More time to get ready.
Does that sound right to you?
No. He wanted to borrow my car. His truck wasn't legal to drive, so it wasn't registered.
Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Well, why didn't you say that?
That wasn't the reason I was driving her car.
Well, sir, let me tell you what you just said to me a moment ago. You said you dropped her off at work and you were going over to see a friend of yours.
Yes.
Which means you had someplace to go. And if you couldn't get there driving your truck, which you clearly wouldn't use because it wasn't legal, you needed a car that day.
I wasn't legal either, so me driving anything was not legal.
You mean you had no license?
Suspended license.
Why is that?
I was supposed to make my court hearing within 10 days. I thought it was 30.
Make what court hearing?
Court hearing I had for a ticket.
What kind of ticket?
Speeding.
See how complicated things get? Why were you letting him drive your car if he had no license?
I was under the impression that all of that was being taken care of.
What do you mean all of it was being taken care of? What does that mean?
He had more than one ticket, and I
assumed he did.
I was under the impression that it was taken care of, and he had asked me not to keep bothering him about it. I didn't realize he was going to be driving my car all over town like that either.
I don't care if he drives your car from here to the end of this room. Driving all over town isn't the issue. Right. Driving at all, getting behind the wheel of a car and turning on the ignition is the problem. So, Miss Ewing, you knew that he had no license.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's get to it. So you let him take you to work, go visit his friends, come back to pick you up, and you knew he had no license. I just want to get things straight. It would be so easy if I could get this without, like, pulling teeth. All right, Mr. West, so you dropped her off at work, and then you went to your friend's house. I'm waiting for the accident.
On the way to my friend's house, I was rear-ended.
Did you get out of your car?
No.
Why not?
Because I had no license.
Didn't you get out to see if maybe somebody was injured?
I was the one rear-ended.
So what? I mean, common sense would say, listen, if you were rear-ended and caused almost $3,000 worth of damage, according to her, somebody might have been hurt in the other car, even if it was their fault. Keep going. I'm getting more fascinated with this story of yours.
The damage didn't look near as bad. It looked like it just needed a new bumper, and we had agreed. He had said that he would pay for a new bumper. A month or two later, he still had put it off. And
you're driving the car?
Yes, ma'am.
And he's driving the car?
No, that was the last time.
Never drove the car after that?
No.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The next month is when he moved out. We were bickering back and forth, I guess, but he was obviously not going to pay for the bumper. So I took it in to get an estimate for the bumper. The damage to the car apparently isn't something that you can see. It's damage more to the frame and underneath the car. The trunk pan is rippled. There's dents, or not dents, but dimples next to the sunroof from the impact of the accident. And
what? Dimples to the sunroof?
Well, during the collision, it'll send a shockwave through the body of the car. And
what do you do for a living?
I'm a waitress.
Waitresses can't give expert testimony on what happens during the course of a collision. Your statement, Mr. West, is that Miss Ewing was in 2 accidents since. How do you know she was in another accident with the car?
All I know is that she obtained new rims because she had damaged one, and the other was pretty much just hearsay.
Were you in subsequent accidents after this incident with Mr. West in December?
I was not in an accident. I was in, I ran over a curb, if that's considered an accident.
Well, it's not an on purpose. You didn't run over the curb on purpose.
No, no.
And you damaged the car.
Mm-hmm. Well, the tires needed to be replaced, yes, ma'am.
How many tires?
2.
That's a lot of damage. You damaged the rims as well? Is
yes.
Not an answer.
Yes.
Get a life, Miss Ewing.
Okay.
Let me see the estimate that you have. Replace bumper cover, $284. The rest is for roof panels with sunroof, add for clear clove glass sunroof, possible rear suspension damage, clean and delivery, $20. You needed a bumper. What kind of car do you have?
2002 Honda Accord. And if you read, I mean, the gentleman explained to me why...
Listen to me, my dear. You're lucky, quite frankly, that I would award you a penny based upon the fact that you permitted an unlicensed driver to drive your car. That's your responsibility. You're the owner of the car, yes, and you can say, no, you can't drive your car because you're irresponsible. The government says that you're not responsible enough to drive any car, and I'm not giving you my car to drive. Then you wouldn't have been in this problem with him. Second thing is, I'm not prepared to say what damage was caused by somebody rear-ending him, or whether the underneath part of the car was damaged as a result of you going over a curb that required you replacing 2 tires and 2 rims. But mostly, you had no right to let an unlicensed driver drive your car. Period. End of discussion. Okay. This court is going to award you $200. You want to have the bumper fixed? Terrific. You don't? Terrific. Are you together anymore?
Questionable.
Questionable? When you say questionable, what does that mean?
That means no.
No. Listen to me very carefully, sir. You moved out in what month?
January.
Since January, have you and Miss Ewing had dinner together?
Yes.
Since January, have you and Miss Ewing gone shopping together?
Yes.
Since January, have you and Miss Ewing slept together?
Yes.
Miss Ewing, you get 0. Nothing. Nothing. You picked them, you deal with them. That's all. Goodbye.
Parties are excused and they'll step out.
We don't see eye to eye when it comes to our future and where we want to go.
Conflict of interest, I guess you could say.
Apparently, if he doesn't want to get a job to pay for the damages or his bills, then therefore, yeah, we apparently don't see eye to eye.
Get to the card, Mr. Livingston.
Yes, ma'am. This was really weird. I called her.
Get to the card, Mr.
I'm going to get to
Livingston.
the card. You said that I was interested. I spent 2 nights over there.
Mr. Livingston, I'm getting older by the second, sir.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. The next case.
All parties in the matter of Livingston versus Goebel, step forward, please.
Electrician David Livingston is suing his former friend, 29-year-old nurse's assistant Kimberly Goebel, for a series of unpaid loans. David says he met Kimberly on the internet and she played him for a fool.
Mr. Livingston, it is your claim that the defendant, who you met on the internet and had started a relationship with, owes you for 2 loans that you made to her.
Correct.
How old are you, sir?
40?
Ever been married?
Yes.
More than once?
No.
How long?
Well, a little over a year.
Long time ago?
Yes, 13 years.
So you've been single ever since? You're looking for the right girl?
Well, one day.
She's not it.
I understand that. It was never that way, Your Honor.
No. I'm just telling you.
Right.
She's not it. When did you start communicating with Miss Goebel on the internet?
It was about June or July of last year.
And when for the first time did you meet her?
Probably about a month after we started talking.
Of 04?
Yes.
Where did you meet her?
We first met, she needed some stuff. She needed some feminine stuff. And so she asked me as a favor, as a friend, and I went and took her some feminine materials.
That's the first time you met her?
I believe so, Your Honor.
You mean you communicated on the internet and she said, I have to go get some feminine hygiene stuff, and you said, okay,
Well,
I'll come and pick
there was
you
a
up?
lot of history behind that, Your Honor. Because we had talked on the phone also. We talked on the phone also.
I
We
don't
built
care
a
whether you
little rapport.
talked on the phone. I don't care whether you blew up balloons together, whether you sent pigeons to each other's homes. Doesn't make any difference to me. It just seems very peculiar that the first time that you meet a woman, she takes you to the drugstore to buy her feminine products.
Well, you know, I do have to correct myself, Your Honor. I believe the first time we met, we went to a bar for a beer.
Now that sounds like a thing. Is that what happened to Miss Goebel?
And the whole time that we were sitting there communicating, she was on the cell phone the whole time.
Listen, Mr. Livingston, if now you're telling me that the first time you met, she sat on the phone talking to somebody, and then you gave her money sometime in the future, that doesn't make you look too smart.
Well, I understand that, Your Honor, but
okay,
it was...
good. So, August is when you met for the first time.
Correct.
Now, I'd like you to tell me when you gave her money for the first time.
It was in
The
November?
questions are going to get harder, sir. Your lawsuit involves 2 different dates that you gave her money.
Correct.
Those should be right up there, because the questions are going to get more complex after that.
Okay. It was approximately 1st of September.
So, within a couple of weeks of meeting her.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, tell me about that.
Well, she had always played this hard luck story. She was trying to change her life. Said she'd quit drugs. She was trying to get away from the people that she was hanging out with. And when I was down and out, somebody was there to help me. And she pretty much played me that she was a wounded duck and she was trying to change her life. She said if she didn't get her phone bill paid, she couldn't talk to her mom, she couldn't talk to those people that were important to her. And so it didn't happen overnight. She asked me several times, and there were several times that I said, Kim, quit calling me. And she would also call back and say, you know what, I'm sorry, I understand, and can we be friends? I said,
So
sure.
you gave her how much to pay for her phone bill?
I actually paid it for her. I went down to Smith's, got a money order, and mailed it in for $50 for her cell phone bill.
Okay, and the next?
The next was she bought a car.
When?
She purchased a car in February of this year.
So since August, you've been in a relationship with you. You're talking about February
Friendship.
2005.
Friendship.
So between September and February, I assume she didn't pay you back the $50.
Correct. She kept saying that there was a lawsuit, she was going to get a settlement on.
There's my uncle who's coming and is going to help me get straight.
Correct.
How much money did you give her in February?
Again, it was not an overnight situation. Okay.
How much money did you give her in February?
It was a little over $220, somewhere right in there.
Okay, so that's what she owes you.
She owes me that and also for her insurance. I paid her insurance for it.
How much was that?
$50.
What's next?
Well, basically what happened is that her birthday was in March, 2nd of March, and I called her. She is trying to make this into a relationship gone bad. It is not a relationship gone bad. She made a verbal promise to me, and that's all that matters. I did buy her something for her birthday. I bought her a necklace that said Friends on it. Okay, I since took it back to Walmart. But, okay, but the
Quiet,
situation
please.
is that she is very, very good about manipulating somebody's feelings to make you think that you are her friend.
Well, that's what she did to you, sir.
That's exactly what she did to me.
No, I did not.
Who do you live with?
I'm living with my ex, which is my baby's father.
How old is your baby?
2.
Do you have only one child?
No, I have 3.
Where are the other 2?
They're living with me.
Did you ever go out with Mr. Livingston and your 3 children?
Well, he came over to my son's birthday party.
And when did the father of your youngest child come back into the picture?
Well, I was living with him at the time, and he was my friend, and he came over to the birthday party.
So you were living with your boyfriend.
Well, he's my ex. I've been separated for like a year and a half.
Did you know that he was living there, Mr. Livingston?
Yes, I did.
Did you know who he was?
Yes, I did. And what I asked her is, I said, I have never in my life heard a situation to where a girlfriend and boyfriend break up and they're living together. Why is he living there, Kim? She says, because if I don't let him live there, he is not going to let me see my child. He's going to withhold my child from me. Your Honor, I come from a situation to where my ex held my children from me, and I was sensitive to that. Okay?
Mr. Livingston.
Yes, ma'am.
It sounds to me you were a little bit smitten with the defendant, because otherwise you wouldn't have even asked that question, right? So it sounds to me as
That
if
is
you
not
was-
true, Your Honor. She was trying to better her life, and she could not better her life when he wasn't working, he wasn't paying for groceries, he wasn't doing anything but
Mr.
sucking her
Livingston,
dry.
if you want to be a benevolent guy and if you want to be a mentor, there are kids there in the Boys and Girls Club that you can mentor.
I understand
You were
that.
mentoring Miss Goebel because you were smitten with her.
No, ma'am, that's not true.
Yeah, well, I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that for a second, sir.
I also got a call from her ex, and he basically said, what kind of trouble do you want with me? And I said, you know what, this is none of your business. If you call here again, I'm going to file suit on you. He called right back, and he said, the disciples are going to be after you.
Mr.
Okay?
Livingston.
So,
All very interesting, sir.
thank you, Your Honor.
Fascinating. Can I see the card that you are dying to show me, Bird? Would you get that card for me, please?
Sure.
May I explain that card, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, this card was...
Yes, now you can explain this love card.
Thank you, Your Honor. She had asked me a lot of times to fix her car. I said I could not financially do it. When I could finally do it, I said, is he leaving tomorrow? And she said, yes. I said, well, that would be a better environment, because I didn't like the guy. I didn't like him around. He was an idiot. He was aggressive, everything else. So anyway, so I felt better working by myself without having him around. Not because I was closer to her, but because it was a better environment for me. Because he's a
Get to
violent
the card,
individual.
Mr. Livingston.
Yes, ma'am. So she calls me and says, I want a relationship with you. I said, what are you talking about? You know, that's quote, end quote. I want a relationship with you, Dave. And I said, you know what, you don't have to do this, Kim. I'm your friend. I'm going to fix your car regardless. You don't have to say that. So I was out of town for 2 days. I got her that birthday present, that $40 friendship necklace. And when I came back, all of a sudden, I mean, this was really weird. I called her.
Could you give me the
Yes.
Get to the card,
I'm going to
Mr.
get to the card,
Livingston.
ma'am.
It says, I love you.
I bought her the
always
card
wanna be
because
with you.
when I got back from out of town, we had a fight. Because, now understand, I had spent 2 nights over there. You said that I was interested in her. I spent 2 nights over there, and I didn't lay a hand on her, okay? The card was given to her because there was an interest there, okay? But
Mr. Livingston.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
I'm getting older by the second, sir. Listen to me very carefully, Mr. Livingston.
Yes, Your Honor.
The fact that she said to you, I want a relationship with you, doesn't answer the question. I said to you, were you smitten with her? You said no.
I was not
But
smitten.
I'm speaking.
Yes,
You
Your
said
Honor.
no. You said I cared about her because she was a human being and people helped me when I was trying to turn my life around and I was trying to help her. It had nothing to do with a romantic feeling. So the fact that, listen to me very carefully, try to put on your listening ears.
Yes, ma'am.
The fact that she says to you, I want a relationship with you, your response is, Kim, I don't feel that way about you. I want to be your friend and help you because I'm a human being, and from one human being to another, I have no romantic interest in you at all. The fact that she said to you, I want a relationship with you, doesn't mean you send her a love letter. Unless you are smitten with her, Mr. Livingston. Now, you can talk until you're blue in the face, until I'm tall and you're short, but that's the truth of the matter.
Then, Your Honor.
No. cross it off. If you're looking for a mate, sir, she is not it. Put a period. It's over. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well.
Your Honor, I
Goodbye.
can recover.
Good luck. Have a happy life. Cross it off. It's money down the sewer. It's over. Goodbye. Not alone.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 11 on the calendar in the matter of Manthorn versus Morante. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Mr. Manthorn, you are an event planner, according to what I read in your complaint.
Yes, Your Honor.
You plan different kinds of trips.
I'm actually a club promoter, not an event coordinator.
Well, but you were planning trips.
Yes.
This particular event was a trip.
Yes.
Mrs. Morante wanted to plan a weekend with some friends, and she answered your ad. Your ad was for what kind of a weekend, Miss Morante?
Freestyle ski trip.
What does that mean?
Freestyle is a type of music, like classical or disco. It's a certain type of music.
Would somebody my age like that kind of music?
Not at all.
You answered that very fast, Mr. Morante. Do you know what freestyle music is?
I have no idea.
Can you hum something in freestyle?
No, I don't really want to.
Okay. Anyway, and that was the ad that you placed, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you signed up, you gave them a deposit.
Correct.
And how much was the deposit?
$250. $50 per girl. There were 5 girls.
2 days? Saturday,
yes, from
Sunday?
Friday night arrival, Sunday morning departure.
So 2 nights?
Correct.
Okay. And she paid you?
Yes, she did.
She went on the weekend eventually, even though the date was changed.
The ski trip that I had promoted for was canceled. The date wasn't changed. The freestyle event was canceled for that weekend.
That I never knew about.
Okay.
Until now, today.
Shh. That was canceled.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you planned something else. Why was that canceled?
Okay, it was canceled due to the lack of people. We couldn't get people to go on the ski trip weekend.
Because nobody knows what it is. So then you planned something else.
No. What I did, I put them on a different ski trip for the following weekend.
Without our knowledge.
Well, just a second. You planned something else for them.
I gave them an alternative. I gave them 2 alternatives. I gave them alternative number 1 was give them their deposit of $250 back.
That's a lie.
Shh.
Or I could put them on the second week.
Just a second. Shh, listen to me. She gave you the $250.
She mailed it to me, the deposit of $250.
Okay. So you had her address.
Yes, I did.
Can I see the letter that you sent her indicating that you were canceling the freestyle weekend, but you were giving her 2 options? Can I see that letter?
There was no letter.
Stop. That's all I wanted.
Thank you.
There was no letter. But one way or another, you got on this second weekend that they had planned, you and 4 friends.
Me and 3 other girls.
You and 3 other girls.
One was soon to be my sister-in-law.
Please, I don't need that information.
Okay.
I have a very, very busy day today. And you say it was a trip from hell.
It was a disaster.
Can I see the ad for the weekend?
The original that I picked up?
The original.
This is the original.
The original? That's the only one that he's got? Because...
No, I
you said
received the second one.
Oh, you did receive it?
At the hotel.
Oh, okay. Not before you went?
Not before I went.
Okay. So tell me, now this looks like a very nice promotion.
Yes.
This is what you've sent out, right?
Yes, I was still promoting for that, yes.
Good. And what you're suing for, sir, is she stopped payment on the $940.
Yes, she did, and I have the check right here.
I believe you. She doesn't deny it. She says that it was a disaster. So I'm going to hear her. Okay. Tell me why it was a disaster.
Okay. Prior to leaving for the trip, Brian changed the dates on us 1 week in advance.
You went. You didn't have to go.
Okay.
You went.
We went to the bus location with him saying that he was going to meet us there Friday evening at about 6 p.m. with about 4 or 5 buses waiting to hurl 500 people up to this freestyle music weekend. There's no Brian. There's only 2 buses. We were not on any kind of list, my name or any of the girls that were with me. To get on the bus, we had to sit there and talk to people that did not know who we were.
So you first had a problem with the organization.
Right.
You finally got on a bus.
We finally got on a bus. The minute we sat down, we smelled marijuana. We refused to sit on a bus with marijuana for our health reasons, and we weren't planning this kind of ghetto weekend. We were trying to go away to have a nice weekend trip. And this was not something that I would ever be interested in.
Okay.
So we complained. They opened up the vent on the bus and sprayed air freshener. I walked right off the bus with the 3 girls.
Okay.
Called my husband, called Brian. He did not pick up his cell phone. He didn't show up.
What did you do next?
I complained to the bus drivers. I complained to the other promoters who never heard of me, who didn't even know who Brian was. And they told us
get on
to
another
wait.
bus?
They made us get on another bus. Correct.
Was that bus okay?
That bus had a lot of drinking and cursing, It was better than the marijuana, but it was not acceptable once we were en route.
Did you get to where you were going?
We did, without being able to use the bathroom, all 3 girls.
When you got to where you were going, tell me about the accommodations that you had.
We walked in. People from the first bus were mimicking, saying things to us because we complained about the pot smoking. They were saying we were troublemakers.
I'm not interested in what they were saying about you. I'm interested in the accommodations.
Okay, well, the accommodations was a room that, you know, had 2 double beds. We were, you know, all 4 girls staying in the same room together.
Did you stay?
We stayed in the hotel room with the doors locked, towels under the door because of the marijuana.
You stayed in the hotel?
Correct, we did.
Why didn't you go home?
I had no way of getting home. He came and picked me up, and he cut his bachelor party short because he was in Atlantic City with my brother and the rest of the guys. And he had to drive over 3 hours to come pick me up, and we had to go home with him squished like sardines in a truck, 4 girls and suitcases and everything, because we refused to get back on the bus with the people that was ghetto that we would not want to be around. Going home another 3 hours. We were not allowed to use the bathroom in the bus unless we took alcohol shots from strangers. It's ridiculous.
Listen to me. I don't understand.
You find it funny. I don't think it's funny.
Miss Moranti, listen to me.
You weren't there.
Miss Moranti, listen to me. I don't understand why you would stay in the hotel.
Well, there was.
She's lying, Your Honor.
I'm lying? You weren't even there.
No.
Okay?
Mr. Mann, listen, if you can't behave yourself, that's not going to bode well for your success in this case. Do you understand?
Yes,
ma'am. Were you supposed to be on this trip, Mr. Mann?
I was going. Originally, I was going to go, but I'm in the National Guard, and I had drill that weekend.
Show me. I believe you're in the National Guard. Show me that you were on a drill that weekend.
My drill assembly schedule was at home, but I let Joanne know and I let Liz know.
No, you did not.
Just a second. Did you tell them before you took their money that you weren't going to be there?
I told them when they came to make the final payment that I wasn't going to be there.
That's a lie. I never made final
Just a
payment
second.
with them.
She never made final payment with me. Liz came to my place of business and was going to make final payment, and that's when I let them know that the ski trip was canceled, and I would give them 2 options. Option number 1, I'll give them back the deposit.
How much profit did you make on this, sir?
I made $50 off each girl, so I made $200.
And you were the subcontractor?
I was the sub-promoter, yes.
Because you said, I'll get a certain number of bodies for you to go.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
That's how it works, yes.
Did you explain that to Miss Moranti, that you were not promoting this, that you were
I told her I was a sub-promoter. The main promoter's on top of the flyer.
And he wasn't there.
Just
it was a different company.
Just a second. All I want to know is, did you tell Miss Moranti that this was not something that you were organizing and promoting?
Yes.
You were merely selling that. Is that right?
Yes.
No, he told me he was a promoter, and his phone number's on that card.
If you're going to be fixed with what's in your head and not listen to my question, you're not helping yourself.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't hear it or understand.
Because you're not listening, you have to put on your listening ears.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You have a counterclaim for your pain and suffering. And right now, what you're being to me is a pain. And I'm suffering.
And later today.
What a con artist. I mean, does she think that we're stupid, that she's going to be able to resolve this issue with those kind of answers?
Hope springs eternal.
Sit down, April.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Promoter Brian Manthorn says former client Joanne Morante owes for the balance on a weekend ski trip. Joanne says the trip was unsafe.
Did the plaintiff ever tell you that he was not in charge of promoting this event?
No, he didn't.
Listening ears, that somebody else was in charge of promoting this event, and all he was doing was providing bodies at $50 a person?
No, he didn't.
Of course not. Don't fib to me, sir.
Your Honor.
Listen to me. Did you tell her that this was not your gig, that you didn't know anything about it, but that you were getting $50 a head for every person that you brought in?
I didn't tell her what I was getting. I told her that I was sub-promoting. Yes, I did. I didn't tell her that I was.
You're a
tell her what I was
Swiftie.
making.
I don't believe you. Did he tell you that?
No.
Of course not. I don't believe you. That's a fib.
Thank you.
Well, Your Honor, I also have a tape. She's claiming something about the bus ride. I also have a tape that Liz left on my voicemail message about the bus ride. Can I play it?
Absolutely.
Saved voice message.
Hey, what's up? Just wanted to call you that,
Is that
now
Liz?
we've been happy. They changed us bus, which is much better than what we were before. And what I was trying to tell you before was like, it was like really, really ghetto, and
See?
like, I don't know, it just felt like weed and stuff, which was like, I don't know. But now they changed us to another bus, so much better. So we're like more happier. So if anything, I'll talk to you. All right, bye.
That's exactly what she said.
Yes, and that was
She
before.
said that the second bus. She said the second bus. She had to drink and everything like that.
That's correct. To use the bathroom.
She
How
said
ghetto.
the second bus was better. Why should she have to tolerate the first bus?
Absolutely. I agree with her 100%.
Good. Then you get nothing. Stick with what you know, sir. Sounds to me like she had a horror show of a weekend. It was so bad that she wouldn't return on the bus back home, and she asked her husband, who will vouch for that, I assume, to cut his weekend short, to come and pick up the 4 girls because they were so put off by what was going on with the bus that they didn't want to take the bus home. Why do you think she would do that if it wasn't miserable?
Because she calls me a con artist.
You are. You are.
Okay, if I'm such a con artist,
you are.
if I'm such a,
you are.
Your Honor, if I'm such a con artist, if I'm such a con artist, then when she wrote me these checks, I would have cashed them the day of.
That's your problem.
I never
tell
did
him
that.
when to cash the check.
Absolutely, she
Your
did.
counterclaim's dismissed.
She absolutely did. She said.
Do you understand?
I guess.
You guess. You know why?
No.
Very easy. Because you have a counterclaim for your pain and suffering. And
And
right
false
now, what you're being to me is a pain. And I'm suffering. Because I already told you that this is a court. And in a court, when I look at you, you testified he was quiet. So your counterclaim is dismissed. That's your punishment.
It's a big punishment.
It is. It absolutely is. So you got $250 deposit. That check went through. Is that right?
Yes, it went through.
You got $50 a person for how many people?
For 4 people.
That's $200. That's $450. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
How much money are you out?
I'm out $940 minus $200.
That's right.
That'd be $7.
That's what you're out. Don't do it again. Stick with what you know. If you con somebody into thinking that they're going to have a great weekend and they have a miserable weekend, there has to be consequences. That's your consequence, $750. Your counterclaim's dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Brian's a con artist. He got what he deserved.
Outrage that somebody can pay for something, spend the whole entire weekend, and still get away with not paying for it.
It was just horrible. It was terrible. There was marijuana going on.
Marijuana use is illegal. She had the choice to get off that bus.
It was out of control, ghetto, something that I would never take part of.
When she seen that it was so ghetto, quote unquote, she could have left. She chose to keep going.
He deceived me from the beginning.
Stay away from prissy girls like that.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Liebhardt versus Malone. Step forward.
19-year-old student Angela Liebhardt is suing her ex-boyfriend, automotive technician Michael Malone, for the return of her furniture and for throwing away her computer. Michael says the computer had a virus.
Miss Liebhardt, you and the defendant lived together for a brief period of time and claimed that when you moved out, you left some of your stuff there for the defendant to store. You don't want it back anymore. And then there was a computer that Mr. Malone says he got tired of storing and it was broken anyway, so he threw it out. Okay. When did you meet him?
I met him in December of '03.
Where?
At a bar that a friend of mine owns.
How soon did you move in with him?
It was almost immediately.
What does that mean? I mean, that night, the next day?
It was probably about a week or so.
What made you make such a precipitous move?
It was an error in judgment.
Okay. What did you bring with you?
I brought my bed with me. Things were given to me during the relationship. The computer was given to me approximately a month before we broke up.
By whom?
My grandmother.
Was it a new computer?
Yes, brand new.
How old were you when you moved in with him?
18.
How old are you?
29.
29. All right. When you moved out in June?
Yep.
Under what circumstances?
He told me to leave.
Did he say why?
We were done.
You weren't getting along anymore?
Yeah.
Why did you leave the computer?
I was leaving town for a few days, and I asked him if it was okay if I left my stuff there for a few days. He told me it was all right. I could leave it there as long as I needed, and I've attempted to get it back on numerous occasions, and he's never there.
Well, after you left in June, when was the first time that you attempted to get your computer and furniture back?
It was 3 days after I moved out.
Tell me what you did.
I called him up, and he wasn't home, and I told him that that's when I would be back in town, is in 3 days.
So you called him up, he wasn't home?
Yes.
So, what'd you do next?
I waited a few days and called him again.
And did you speak to him?
I made an appointment to go and get my stuff with him.
So that was about, let's say, a week later, you made an appointment to go and get your stuff?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Are you making it up as you're going along, or is that the truth as you
That's the
remember
truth.
it?
Angela Liebhardt says ex-boyfriend Michael Malone threw away her computer. Michael says the computer was junk.
Step up. What is your last name?
Renee Williams.
Okay, Miss Williams, when for the first time did you contact Mr. Malone?
I started attempting to call him in October.
Did you ever speak to him?
There was a couple times. One time we set a time to meet. At that time he had...
To meet to do what?
So that I could get Angela's stuff for her.
What furniture is there?
There is like a china cabinet and like a hutch type thing, like a buffet.
Something that's wooden.
Yes, 2 wooden things.
Okay. Where are her 2 wooden chests that she has?
They're in a back room at my house.
Okay, you have no objection if she comes and gets those, do you?
No, not at all.
Good. 5 days from today, you may bring a peace officer if you wish. There'll be an order. Those 2 items are to be in the front of the house. Do you understand?
Yes.
5 days from today, 9 a.m. You'll get a formal order of that. With regard to the computer, sir, you're going to have to convince me why you don't owe her $1,073.67 for the computer.
At first, I had no problem with them getting the computer. Then the computer broke, and we were getting ready to move, and it was junk to me. I've had them say, you can come get it, you can do whatever.
Well, at that point, it was junk, sir, because if you were using it, and if it broke while you were using it, you're responsible for it.
He didn't say that we could come get it. First, he told her that it was at his mom's. Then his wife told me that it was stolen, and now he's saying that it's junk.
Step up. Your name?
April Malone.
April? Mm-hmm. Did you ever tell Miss Williams that the computer was stolen?
Yes, that's what I had known that it was. I didn't know that.
What do you mean you had known? That's what you had known that it was. Explain that to me.
I was told that it was stolen. I didn't know that it was broken.
Who told you that it was stolen?
Some of his family members.
What about him? You didn't ask him?
No.
You didn't say to your husband what happened to you? His family members told you it was stolen? April, look at me. She says to you, where's the computer? You say to her it's stolen.
I don't know anything about the computer. To my knowledge, I knew it was stolen.
Well, just a second. You're living with your husband, right, April?
Yes.
So it had to be your husband that told you it was stolen.
I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about this relationship.
Are you listening to what I'm saying? I'm not asking you about relationship. Pay careful attention. You don't get off the hook, because I shake it until I get the truth. That if you told her the computer is stolen, you got that from your husband.
I'm not sure who I got it from. I tried resolving this problem. I offered to claim it on our home insurance policy. I called them, and I had called my father-in-law because I did not know who the insurance policy was through. I still don't.
So what did you do? You called your father-in-law and said, I want to know who our insurance carrier is, right?
Yes, I tried that.
What do you mean you tried? So, did you get an answer?
No, I did not.
Why didn't you get an answer? They don't want to talk to you?
My father-in-law is only home like once a week. He travels.
God. What a con artist. I mean, does she think that we're stupid, that she's going to be able to resolve this issue with those kind of answers?
Hope springs eternal.
Sit down, April. Does it embarrass you to stand up in front of 10 million people and appear to be so foolish?
No.
How many children?
What I could do.
Let me ask you a question. How many children do you have?
I don't have any children.
Try keeping it that way.
I plan on it.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,073.67. 5 days from today, you can go get your property. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Number 22 on the calendar, the matter of Moore versus Kayla.
Thank you, Bert.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Whew. Family that certainly does not get along well. Miss Moore, the defendant is your niece.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that she had you falsely arrested for assaulting her last year during the time that your mother was ill and dying.
Yes, ma'am.
You went through a trial recently and were acquitted.
Yes,
found
ma'am.
not guilty. And you're suing her for the false arrest and for the year that you spent facing these charges. The defendant says that the charges were true and that she is counterclaiming for her injuries. Her injuries, I believe, were broken arm.
Yes, ma'am.
When was your mother ill last year?
My mother became ill early in January, but she really got bad in March of, it was 2003.
And when did this incident occur with your niece?
March the 10th, after I flew to Texas to be beside my mother who was dying at her home.
So you tell me your version of what happened, what led up to this incident.
Saturday afternoon, my sister, Brenda, had instructed me to give medication to my mother every 4 hours without stopping. And it put my mother in a very...
What kind of medicine was it?
One was a morphine and the other one was for anxiety.
Your mother had cancer?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of cancer did she have?
cancer of the liver.
So the morphine was prescribed to keep her calm.
Yes, ma'am, but on the prescription of the bottle, it says every 4 hours as needed. And my question was, that night she was totally out of it, and my brother he was there that night, and he had to pick my mother up out of the bed because she could not move at all. And we did not give her the medication every 4 hours like my sister had instructed, and I had asked my other sister in the morning about the medication.
So that caused a problem with your niece?
They were all upset because I would not give the medication like that. But anyway, Sunday night, I left and went out to another sister's house to rest. And when I came that morning on Monday, my daughter and I came back in the afternoon, and I come to the conclusion I couldn't handle seeing my mother's death.
Okay.
Because of my heart condition and my nerves.
Okay, you couldn't handle it. Okay.
And I was talking to my husband on the phone, and I told him he could reach me. I was on the porch, and I told him he could reach me out at my other sister's. Brenda got mad at me, and I don't want to have a consultation with my mother dying.
Why was she angry with you? What was she saying?
She just felt that I was there trying to take over, and she was already had said that she was going to come out there and whip on me on Monday, and I didn't pay any attention to that in a phone call that we had.
Was that over the medication?
Yes.
Is that so far, is that right?
No, ma'am.
Okay, step up. Brenda, what were you angry about?
I wasn't angry with her. I was actually relieved that she was there to help us, because we had 3 months prior of taking care of my mother. Everybody was stressed out. It was a bad time. My sister had called me, and she told me that the hospice people had told her not to give my mother the medication except when she needed it. I told her specifically, Alice, when you're there, you do what you need to do. I told her I was calling a meeting with the hospice people on Monday. The whole family would be there. We could all understand. I learned more about death than I ever wanted to know with my mother. And I didn't want to go through this by myself. I wanted my sisters there. I wanted help. Right. So when we asked for a meeting, she said 10 o'clock. My sister couldn't be there. She was so concerned about my mother and the medication, but she couldn't be there to see what the hospice people. We were doing exactly what they said. Exactly what they said.
Which is medicating her every 4 hours and not letting the pain grab hold of
right.
her.
Well, right. That's exactly how they explained it to her,
right.
To us. You know, when the pain kicks in, this is how she's going to be. Don't let the pain come.
Don't let it get there.
You know,
right.
We'd been there with her. We didn't want to let the pain come. Nobody, you know, she was going to die. We knew that. We wanted it to be peaceful.
I got it.
And that was my mother's wish, to die at home.
Kim, tell me what happened in the kitchen on the 10th of March.
Well, I was in the bedroom with my grandmother, and I heard them in the kitchen. And she's telling her, you know, you took her out of the nursing home. You shouldn't have took her out of the nursing home. She's going to die. She's going to bleed. You know, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. And they were telling her, then leave. You know, that's fine. If you can't take it,
put your hand down, Miss
leave.
Moore.
You know. And when I looked outside, she was slapping at my mother. And another one of my aunts stepped in. Well, she grabbed her and she threw her down to the floor. Alice threw my other aunt down to the floor. Her name was Billy.
Go ahead.
And then of course, I had walked in there in the middle of this, and my brother walked in, and she started screaming at my brother. And she was screaming obscenities that you would not believe. And she was, you know, then she started out the door, and my brother went out after her. Well, I went out after him. Then she coming out there, and she's telling me, you know, we need to just call an ambulance for Billy, you know, we need to just go. So I'm going back in the house, and I get the phone to call the police. And as I walk back outside, because I'm hearing screaming now back at the porch. And I'm like, well, I thought she was going to leave. She wasn't leaving. And it's because her daughter over there was telling her, you don't have to leave. They can't make you leave. This is your mama's house. You don't have to leave. You know, her daughter was put in the quarter. And she knows if you push her, she's going to lose it. You know, she has a history of violence and just psychotic behavior. And I look at her and I told her, just go, just get that out of here. You know, so I told her, just get that. And I'm pointing at her, and as I'm pointing at her, she grabs this arm and she pulls me down. Her daughter steps between us, and she popped my arm down over her daughter's shoulder. It broke this bone up here into pieces. They had to go in and put a rod, you know, have a permanent rod in the middle of my bone.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I was leaving and they attacked me. They didn't take my statement. The police didn't let me give a statement. My lawyer will testify to that. Why don't you call her?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Alice Moore says her niece, Kimberly Kayla, had her falsely arrested for an assault. Kimberly says during an argument, Alice broke her arm.
What happened to Billy?
Billy was taken to the hospital also, and she had some sciatic nerve damage in her back.
She was taken to the hospital that day?
Yes. Okay. But Billy and I were both taken to the same hospital in the same ambulance.
What hospital?
To Spine Memorial Hospital.
Do you have a police report for me, please?
Yes.
It's right there.
Okay, Miss Moore, coming back to you. Now we're going to come to the point in this story where you're going to tell me your version of how her arm got broken.
Well, first of all, there was a consultation in the house, and Brenda held me and Kim, and I have a sworn testimony from the court where my attorney said, "And you slapped her?" And she said, "Yes." At that time, she hit me.
Just a second. Who slapped you?
Kim hit me in the face with the telephone while my sister held me in the kitchen and would not let me leave.
Let me see the testimony. Oh, well, she says, "Do you remember slapping Alice?" She said, "Yeah, I told you in the kitchen when she was pulling my hair and we were going back and forth." "And you slapped her?" "Yes."
But, Judge, I could not be pulling her hair.
Just a minute. Don't explain. You have to read me the whole thing, Miss Moore.
Okay.
She didn't just admit slapping you. She said you were pulling her hair and you were going back and forth and she slapped you.
At the time she slapped me, I had my hands restrained by my sister Brenda.
I would like you to tell me how her arm got broken.
Well, from there, I went outside and was leaving. At that time, her brother stopped me from going to the car. He pounced over the porch and pulled his hand back to hit me. And you're looking at a guy, I wouldn't take my eyes off because he lifts weight and he could have killed me. And he said all kinds of things to me as I was trying to leave. My daughter stood in between us to stop it.
Okay, so your daughter got in between you and her brother.
Right.
Okay.
And as I was looking for my granddaughter, Kim.
Just a second. If your daughter got in between the two of you, why didn't you go back to your car?
I was going, but my granddaughter had the keys to my car.
Where were you looking for her?
Right there in front of my mother's house.
Well, you just have to look. How old is your granddaughter? Is she a little teeny girl?
Yes.
How old is she?
I thought she was about 11 or 12. That's what she looks like.
How old?
She just turned 18, Judge.
So she was 16 at the time.
15. She hadn't turned 16 yet.
15 at the time. Well, you're not looking for her on the ground, madam. Listen to me. If you're looking for your granddaughter who's outside, and the people who are outside, according to you, your nephew, and your daughter, that's 3 people. That's who you told me were outside, and you were looking for your granddaughter around that area.
And Kim came off the porch, charged off the porch with something and hit me in the face, and I could not see. I put my hands up, and I have pictures of where she hit me in the head, and I couldn't see at that time.
Just a second. Hold on a second. Show me the pictures that you have. I don't see anything wrong with your head, ma'am.
I had a goose egg right here.
Not according to the police report.
The police did not come and check me out at all or anything. I went to the hospital, to the emergency room.
Let me see the medical records from the hospital. According to the police report, when they spoke to you, there was nothing wrong with you, except you were complaining of chest pains. That's according to 2 police officers. Listen to me. That's what the police said you complained of, not a goose egg on your head, not being hit on your head. They took you to the hospital for observation because, listen to me, because of the chest pains. What I want you to do is give me the hospital record.
I don't have that part.
Well,
that
that's what
I could not
need.
get that part in time for court today.
Well, that's unfortunate because you've had over a year to get that hospital record. Who are you?
I'm her husband, Your Honor.
Were you there?
I talked to her at 7 o'clock.
He was on the phone when I went in to tell him I was leaving.
She was leaving.
Were you there?
No, I wasn't.
My daughter Frankie was there.
Oh, I believe Frankie was there. You can step up, Frankie. I believe you were there.
Yes, ma'am.
How did your cousin's arm get broken?
By her brother yanking her arms. When she had my mother's head, she grabbed my mother by her left, with her left hand, with Kim's left hand, by her hair, yanked her head over where she's completely bent over. My mother's face is touching the cement. Kim's brother runs from behind Kim and grabs Kim with his arms like this, and he's pulling her, and she's hitting my mother upside the head with a cordless phone in her right hand, and I grab at the phone, and Scott is pulling Kim at both of her arms backwards. No one touched her arms except for her own brother.
Okay, fine. You can sit down. It's very unfortunate when everybody gets stressed out in a situation where...
What was unfortunate?
I'm speaking. It's very unfortunate when people get stressed and angry because somebody who's close to them is dying. And put the picture down, madam. Pay attention to me. The first mistake that you made was not listening. Your mother was dying of liver cancer. The instructions that you were given to give her morphine every 4 hours were the appropriate instructions. I am not a medical person, but unfortunately I have been in situations where I know that you're not supposed to wait until you are in pain as needed when you are dying. You're supposed to keep medicated so that the pain of liver cancer doesn't take hold. So these people were taking care of your mother for months before you got there. And then you pay attention, try to get it through. And then you come to the scene and decide, this isn't right. The medication says as needed. I'm not going to give her the medication every 4 hours. And everybody is annoyed at that situation because you're sort of a Johnny-come-lately. They've been there for months taking care of the situation, making decisions without you. They took care of, they were the ones who were up at night, they were the ones who were feeding, and all of a sudden you show up and decide to change the rules. Big mistake. You weren't saving your mother's life, Miss Moore. She was going to die. I'm speaking. She was going to die anyway. The question was she going to die peacefully and not in pain ever? Or whether you were going to try, your method of treatment was let her get a little bit uncomfortable and then we'll give her the medication as needed. Unfortunately, you made a mistake in your choice. I do not believe your daughter when your daughter says that you were beaten over the head with a phone, because there is nothing in any of the official records, including hospital records, which you had every opportunity to get over the last year and a half, that suggests that when you were admitted to the hospital for your chest pains, they noted bruising and swelling on your head that would be consistent with your being hit over the head repeatedly, according to you, and according to your daughter, with a cell phone. So I do not believe you were falsely charged. And I believe you broke her arm.
Oh, ma'am,
I believe
not.
that you... I'm speaking.
I did not. I was leaving and they attacked me.
Okay.
That's all I was doing was leaving.
You may have convinced
they
you,
wouldn't
Miss
let
Moore.
me leave.
You may have...
I didn't care about what medicine they gave Mother. They attacked me. They didn't take my statement. The police didn't let me give a statement. My lawyer will testify to that. Why don't you call her?
Listen to me. I don't want to go any further with this, Ms.
And I
Moore,
was
because
found
I'm
not
speaking.
guilty of all
I'm
of
speaking.
those.
I'm speaking. I'm speaking. Speak.
I swear I did not.
Listen to me very
Where's
carefully.
the Bible? I took a lie detector's test even, and I did not touch them.
Your
None of
case is dismissed. Did you have any unreimbursed medical bills?
Yes, ma'am.
What were they? Unreimbursed medical
Well,
bills.
I have $7,000 right here.
Judgment for the defendant on the counterclaim in the amount of $5,000.
Brown versus Pritchard. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
This is your daughter?
Yes.
How old are you?
13.
You, Mrs. Pritchard, have no first-hand knowledge of the facts surrounding this case, only what your daughter told you. Is that right?
This is true. Yes, thank you.
Why don't you have a seat? Okay. Mr. Brown, it's your complaint that this young lady filed a false police report about you.
Yes, Your Honor.
And as a result of that false police report, you spent a day in jail. You had to hire a lawyer. You had to come up with some bail.
Yes.
Well, let's start with how you know each other. Who wants to tell me how you know each other? Nobody. So let's start with you, Mr. Brown. Why don't you tell me how you know this 13-year-old girl?
Well, I had a neighbor that lived next door to me, and she would come over there with her friends and ask.
This young lady would come over to your neighbor's house.
Yes, Your Honor.
With her friends. Is
Yes.
that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who is this neighbor of yours?
His name was Jimmy.
You know Jimmy?
Yes, Your Honor.
How far does Jimmy live from where you were living?
About a block away.
And you would go over to Jimmy's house? How old is Jimmy?
22.
He was a friend of yours?
Kinda. I didn't really know him.
Well, what would you go over to his house for?
We just went over there, and like me and my friends, we would go over there and talk to him until later on when he started buying alcohol, and we would go
Keep
over
your voice up. All right, so you would go over and talk to him for a while, and then later on he would buy alcohol?
Yes.
What would he do with the alcohol?
He would give it to us, and we would either sometimes drink it with him, or we would leave and go drink it somewhere else.
Who would you go over to Jimmy's house with?
Just me and like 3 other friends.
Well, what are their names?
Like Jasmine.
Not like. I want to hear their names.
Jasmine, Brittany.
Jasmine. How old is Jasmine?
14.
Who else?
Brittany, and she's 15. Jessica, who's 13. That's pretty much.
All right, so you and your 3 friends would go over to this 22-year-old boy, man, person's house, and after chatting, he would buy you alcohol, which you would either consume there or you would take elsewhere. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
What happened to Jimmy?
He moved out.
I'm still not hearing how you know. Your name is Kaylee?
Yes.
Kaylee.
After he moved out, she would come over then, because Jimmy was my friend. So after he moved out, her and her friends would ask me to buy him alcohol. So I did on occasions twice.
So that this young lady who's 13 years old and her 14, 15, and 13-year-old friend came over and said, well, Jimmy's not here anymore, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Huh?
Yes.
So would you buy us alcohol? Who asked him to buy you alcohol?
All of us did.
Did you pay him for it?
No, we didn't.
You didn't pay him for it with money?
No.
Did you pay him for it with anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, why did you buy these children alcohol, sir?
Well, I knew they weren't 21, but I also knew that they said that they were older than what they were. You know, she said that she was 16 and they were.
Well, they certainly weren't old enough to buy alcohol, because if they were old enough to buy alcohol, Mr. Brown, they would have bought it themselves.
Yes, they would have.
So why would you buy children alcohol?
It was wrong for me to do, but.
Right.
Yeah.
How many times did he buy you alcohol, Kaylee?
At least 5 times that I can remember.
Well, there come a time, Kaylee, that you and your friends got annoyed with him and vandalized his car?
No, Your Honor.
Did you put snow in his car?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's vandalizing his car. Who put snow in his car? Is not an answer.
I did and my friend Jesse.
Now, why did you do that, Kaylee?
Well, he wouldn't answer his door, and then we went and knocked on his window, and he was sleeping, and we told him that we were going to go fill his car up with snow if he didn't.
If he didn't what?
Answer his door. And then,
well, why did you want him to answer the door, Kaylee?
I do not remember. I was a while ago. I don't remember why we went there. But
well, would you go there for any other reason than for him to buy alcohol?
Yeah, sometimes we went over there just to hang out and to listen to music, or
to get cigarettes. And then we...
So you either wanted alcohol or cigarettes when you went to his house, and he wouldn't open the door. Is that right?
Your Honor.
So as a result of that, you and your friend opened up his car doors and filled his car up with snow.
Yes, Your Honor.
And
Sorry. Wait. Sorry.
You think I'm being too hard on her?
No, no.
Good.
I just wanted to add something.
Perfect.
Sorry.
After you filled his car up with snow, what happened?
Me and my friend, we just took off, and then we didn't come back for a few weeks.
But then you decided to come back.
Yes, Your Honor.
For what?
More alcohol.
And did he answer the door this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did he buy you the alcohol?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did there come a time he decided not to buy alcohol for you?
No, Your Honor.
Well, tell me about the time that you allege that he pulled a gun on you. Because that's what the complaint was.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me about that.
Well, I went down and I met my friend, and then...
Friend who?
My friend Heather. And she brought 2 other people, Desiree and this other girl I did not even know. And Desiree has always had a problem with me. She did not like me. And when we ran away together, we would always go over to Terrell's house and we would get alcohol. And that day she wanted...
When did you run away?
I came back on Thanksgiving. I left like a week before Thanksgiving.
Why did you run away?
I do not even know. I just decided that I didn't want to be home, and me and my friends just left home and didn't come back.
Who lives in your house?
My mother, my father, and my 2 brothers.
How old are your brothers?
They're 12 and almost 9, so 8.
So you set the example for your 2 older brothers. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He kicked this chair and then he threw his keys down and he said he'll make us leave. And Desiree said, oh, you think you're all bad now because you got a gun? And that's when he freaked out and he pulled out the gun.
And later today...
You're looking at him as if he's a god. Who are you?
I'm his girlfriend.
Ooh. Listen to me. Do you have children?
No.
Keep it that way.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 27-year-old Terrell Brown says his former friend, 13-year-old Kaylee Pritchett, had him falsely arrested and thrown in jail. Kaylee says she and her friends used Terrell to buy alcohol and cigarettes.
Does your mother beat you?
No, Your Honor.
What about your father?
No, Your Honor.
Do they give you food?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you sleep shackled to a radiator?
No, Your Honor.
Well, then, can you explain to me why you and your friend left home?
Just because we wanted to get out of my house because my parents had strict rules. And
well, I'd like you to tell me about the strict rules.
That we couldn't do anything, we could not smoke.
You couldn't smoke? You should, couldn't smoke?
We couldn't leave the house after like 9 p.m.
Couldn't leave? You got this? You're following this?
I'm following.
You couldn't smoke. You couldn't drink, I assume. And you couldn't leave the house after 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Is she behaving any better now?
Yes. It's been a long haul, but yeah.
For how long?
Probably, I'd say since Thanksgiving, since she came home, and she's been in counseling with us as a family, and it's helped a lot.
Kaylee, you do not sound like an unintelligent girl, which means that it seems to me that you have the necessary brain cells to be okay. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Some people, unfortunately for them, are born and they have to struggle. Sounds to me as if you don't have to struggle. You're just putting all of your efforts in the wrong direction.
Thank you.
But unfortunately, when you start to make mistakes when you're 13, unless you fix them fast, they last your whole life. So it's nice to hear from your mother that you seem to be doing better the last several months. You're doing better in school?
Yes, Your Honor.
What about these girlfriends of yours?
I do not speak to them anymore.
That sounds like a perfect idea. Now, let's get back to the gun episode.
Well, I went and met my friends and this girl, Desiree.
And you went to his house for alcohol?
Yes, and she told me that if I did not end up getting it, the house can get beat up, so I was doing everything that I could to get it.
Desiree said to you, if you don't get into the house and get some alcohol from Mr. Brown, I'm going to beat you up.
Yes.
Is that the story that you're selling today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So Come on, I'm listening.
We went over to his house, and he said he was going to get it, but he had a few errands to run. And Desiree's like, do not let him leave. I was like, all right. So Desiree went outside when he was leaving, and we sat on his hood of his car. And I got on after her, and we weren't going to let him leave. So he decided to go back inside. Well, he wasn't going to let us in, so we all pushed the door back open, and we got in.
Got into his house?
Yeah, when he was right there. But
you pushed the door to get into his house? That's trespassing. That's a crime. You know that. You understand that. That's a crime. First of all, you sat on his car and vandalized it, and then you pushed your way into his house. That's a crime. That's trespass.
And then he told us to leave, and Desiree said no. And then we all decided not to leave. So he kicked this chair, and then he threw his keys down, and he said he'll make us leave. Well, then he went into the room, and he came back out, and he was putting something in the back of his pants. And he sat down, and he told us to leave. And Desiree said, oh, you think you're all bad now because you got a gun? And that's when he freaked out and he said, leave, and we said no, and that's when he pulled out the gun. And the first thing I did was turn off the door, and my friends came right after me, and he came outside and he was yelling just on the top of his lungs, just yelling at us, and we just took off and we went home. And we did not call the cops till the next day.
What'd you call the police for?
Because we were scared, because he was telling us about all...
All you have to do is not go over and bother him anymore.
Well, I don't know.
Oh. Mr. Brown, how old are you?
27.
You spent the day in jail?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good for you. Probably should have spent a couple more. I'm not sure whether you had a gun or whether you didn't have a gun. Certainly, Kaylee here had no right being in your house, had no right committing a crime. You told her to leave. You understand that, Miss Pritchett?
Yes.
You told her to leave. She didn't leave with her friends. He begged her to leave. They threatened him. All of that, Mr. Brown, was brought about by your actions because you supplied the girls with alcohol. And that's what happens when you do the wrong thing. When you do the wrong thing, you never know where it's going to come back and bite you in the behind. You understand, Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you knew you were wrong, and you knew it would come out to no good, right?
Yep.
So, there's an old legal doctrine, and it's called the doctrine of clean hands. And it means when a person comes to court, and you're asking a court to do the right thing, you have to come to court and say, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't bring on any of this myself. I have clean hands. You can't come here and say I have clean hands. You committed a crime by furnishing alcohol to minors. I want you to make yourself feel a little bit better, Mr. Brown. Say the police arrested you and held you for 24 hours because you broke the law by supplying alcohol to minors instead of for threatening them with a gun. Either way, you spent a day in jail. It wasn't enough. You contributed to the delinquency of minors by furnishing them alcohol. And you're just lucky that none of them either got sick or got hurt as a result of becoming intoxicated with the alcohol you provided them, Mr. Brown. We understand each other.
Yes, Your Honor.
Goodbye.
The parties are excused. You may step out.
They came over, wanted me to buy them alcohol, so I bought it for him, and that was it.
He's older. You'd think he'd be wiser not to buy minors alcohol and cigarettes.
I messed up and I did stuff I shouldn't have done.
You want to see the best for your kids, and she hasn't been smart.
Keep in school and not do it. It's not worth it to get yourself in trouble and put your parents in pain.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hill versus Secord, step forward, please.
Field Tech Stephen Hill is suing his wife's ex-husband, cable installer George Secord, for a furniture debt. Stephen says George is not abiding by his divorce agreement.
Mr. Hill, you are currently married to the defendant's former wife.
Correct.
How long had you been married to Mrs. Hill?
Nearly 10 years.
Do you have children?
2.
How old are they?
11 and 15.
And when were you divorced?
1999.
You had a separation agreement?
Yes.
And the separation agreement was incorporated into the terms of your divorce?
Yes.
You were represented by an attorney?
Correct.
And your former wife had an attorney?
She sure did.
And the two of you, through your attorneys, got together and hammered out the terms of an amicable support.
Correct.
The distribution of marital property.
Yes.
And the distribution of debts.
Yep.
Yes would be your answer.
Yes.
According to the terms of the judgment of divorce, the defendant agreed to assume certain marital debt. The debt that is in question is for furniture.
Correct.
Furniture which he kept.
Yes.
And he said, I want to keep the furniture, I'm going to pay for it. And he didn't.
Correct.
certainly the credit card company that financed this furniture wasn't a party to your judgment of divorce, Mr. Secord, is that correct?
No, they weren't.
So they weren't letting your former wife off the hook because she was a signatory on the loan.
Right.
So when you did not pay, pursuant to your judgment of divorce, that debt, they went after your former wife.
Right.
And since she and her present husband had a joint bank account, right?
Yes.
They attached his bank account. Mr. Hill was forced to pay this $4,700 in order to get his bank account back and to clear his wife's credit. Now, in what year, sir, did they attach your bank account?
That'd be 2004.
And the divorce was in 1999.
Correct.
So I'd like you to explain to me, Mr. Secord, between 1999 and, say, 2002, why you did not take care of this debt.
I was in litigation with the company to work out a payment to be washed of the whole thing, which at that time...
Just a second, you're talking gibberish to me now.
They were ready to settle for 15 cents on the dollar to wipe the whole bill out at that point. And I, at that time, told them, yes, I'd take it. And I was unable to settle up with them in the time they wanted to be settled with, so they went after her. And when they went after her, she didn't go to court to stand up for herself or show them that there was a divorce agreement and it was my bill now. And they got a judgment against her. Eventually, after they got married...
You're looking at him as if he's a god. Who are you?
Excuse me?
I said you're looking at him as if he's a god.
Maybe
Would you please tell me who you are?
I'm his girlfriend.
Your girlfriend. Ooh. Listen to me. Do you have children?
No.
Keep it that way. Listen to me, Mr. Secord. Let us understand each other, sir. You have 2 children with this lady, and you did the wrong thing. And when you stand there and make a fool of yourself in front of 10 million people, it's really irritating. You assumed a responsibility. I'm speaking. You assumed a responsibility. Your responsibility, pursuant to the judgment of divorce, was to take care of this debt. By you settling with the company for 15 cents on the dollar, that takes the credit of both you and your wife down about 10 pegs. Because if somebody else wants to lend her money, they're going to look and they're going to say, listen, the last debt she incurred, she got rid of by paying off 15 cents on the dollar. They don't care who paid it off. It's a bad debt.
Well,
that's something that you... Hey. What do you do?
If she was so concerned about it, why didn't she go to court?
Throw her out of here. Throw her out. Throw her out.
Your Honor, may I speak?
Not necessary. Does it sound like you're losing? The only losing thing that you did was make 2 children with him. I hope they're nice children, and I hope you take good care of him, because he's a loser. And you're very lucky to have gotten rid of him before you wasted any more time with him. I'm sure it cost you a lot more. This is not going to cost you. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,700. That's all. Put him out, too.
Well, parties are excused. You may step out. 5:14 on the calendar in the matter of Hannah versus Henderson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Hanna, you and the defendant have an on-again, off-again sort of relationship, and you have a child together. According to your complaint, you were ordered to pay child support, which you did in fact pay, which was probably being deducted from your salary.
Yes, ma'am.
And there came a time when Miss Henderson and your son moved in with you. They lived with you for 2 months. According to you, she was supposed to stop the child support. She did not, and that money was taken out of your check while she was living with you. You want that money back.
Correct.
In addition, you came home one day and found that she had moved out of the house, taken all your furniture, and according to you, took $500 with your ATM card.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Henderson says she has your permission to take the furniture and the money, and in addition, that you told her that since she was getting child support from you, she had to take care of all the child's expenses when you were living together, so that she's entitled to that. When was your son born?
January 29th, 2 years ago.
Were you living together at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you separate?
About 4 months later, I was at work, got a phone call from a friend of mine, says Jesse came out of an apartment complex, known to be one...
listen, I just asked you for a date.
Okay.
You know.
It's probably 4 months after my son was born.
Did you start to pay child support immediately?
Yes, ma'am.
That was as soon as she moved out?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when did she move back in with you?
Well, we got back together, and I was staying with her at her East 46th Street house, and she said we need to get a single house for us and the kids. So for the next 4 months, we was looking at houses. I bought a 4-bedroom house in the suburb of Cleveland, Parma. I thought everything was going good.
When she moved into the house that you bought, was she giving you any money?
She did at first. She gave me $3,000, you know, help pay for, you know, like insurance and stuff like that.
Just a minute. So she stayed with you for 2 months in the new house that you bought?
Yes, ma'am.
And when she stayed with you for 2 months, she gave you $3,000?
Yes, ma'am.
What did she give you the $3,000 for, sir?
It was child support money. She gave it back to me saying, here, you know, since we was living together prior to moving into this house, that she's like, here, it's my savings, take it. You know,
and you took it?
Yes, ma'am.
So what are you suing her now for?
Thank you.
What are you suing her now for?
She sued me back for the $3,000, but she signed a gift letter saying it was a gift, free and clear, no strings attached before I bought my house.
Just 1 second. Hold on a second. So she sued you for the $3,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she get it?
No, ma'am.
So now you have the $3,000?
Yes, ma'am.
So what are you suing her for?
The child support was from when we stayed together at her East 47th Street home that she continued to get while I was living with her. Under Ohio law, she was supposed to report that I was living with her at child support. She never did. Under the new agreement that I bought the new house, the child support was supposed to be dropped. You know, the money is now is irrelevant. She took my kids and my life. That's the important thing. She's refused up until this week to let me see my children. I continue to pay this.
Mr. Hanna, listen to me very carefully, sir. You have to decide what court you want to be in. If you're not here over the money, because clearly, if she gave you $3,000 when you moved into the new house, and this house is in your name,
yes, ma'am,
and for moving in expenses, for the child support, for whatever, and that was her savings, that's what you just told me, she gave you her savings, I am unsympathetic with you with regard to her taking $500 out of your ATM account. So if what you're saying is that you're angry because she won't let you see your son, that's a whole different story. That's something that I can't do anything about. That's something that you have to do something about.
Legal motions have been filed in our hometown. I'm in the process of, you know, going after joint custody with her. Tracking down where she's staying currently is, you know, is another story.
Well, why do you think she's so angry with you, Mr. Hanna?
You know, Your Honor, I come home, I work 6 days a week, I drive truck. I work 14 hours a day. I come home on a Friday night, my whole house is empty. Can you my kids are gone. Can you picture everything you own?
One child.
No, she has another child by a previous relationship.
I understand that, but you only have one child together.
I consider hers mine, though.
Do you
with
pay
all my
child
heart.
support for her?
I give that child everything she needed.
Do you pay child support for her?
No, but I continue to give that child everything she needs. The love and a father. Ain't that the most important thing?
No, the most important thing is food.
Right? She took that, too.
The most important thing, Mr. Hanna, is food.
She took that also.
I'm asking you a question. So you don't know why she cleaned out your house. Why don't you tell him?
He knows why. He's...
No, just a minute. He doesn't know why.
Because he was cheating on me.
Got it?
No, ma'am.
All right.
Yes.
That's what's in her head.
I know that's what's in her head. If she would stay on her psychiatric medication, things would be all right.
Excuse me, Your Honor, it's Zoloft, okay? Depression for the first time he loved me.
Now, Miss Henderson.
Yes.
Listen to me. You have a child together.
Yes.
He may not be a wonderful mate.
Correct.
But you picked him to father your child.
Correct.
You cannot decide after you have had a child with someone that you don't want them to have any input in that child's life anymore because you don't like. I'm speaking because you don't like them anymore. That's not your prerogative. And if you do that, you're doing a disservice to your son, who will one day grow up and hate you for it. May not hate you for it now because he's 2-3 years old, but when he's 15, trust me, he will hate you for it. I've been in this business a long time. So I would not fight the issue of regular contact between this gentleman and his child.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Sure.
When the baby was 6 months old, he had left me for a 19-year-old. Got her pregnant. Now they have a 7-month-old baby together.
So?
So after I move out, he's got her she moves in a month after I move out. So he's got 2 different women coming to his house. He's drinking all the time. I don't need my son around that stuff.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You can be the drama lady from today until tomorrow. You do not impress me. You are not listening to what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying to you is, you're no bargain either.
And later today.
What you're annoyed about is that he moved on before you were finished with each other.
No, I'm actually more annoyed at the fact that he's slept with my best friend.
Well,
they're
that's
having
what
a baby.
I would try to say it a little more delicately than you did.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michael Hanna claims ex-fiancée Jessica Henderson owes for the return of child support. Jessica says Michael cheated on her with a 19-year-old girl.
You have 2 out of wedlock children.
Exactly.
He's got 2 out of wedlock children. Sounds like a perfect match to me. What I'm telling you is, you picked him. He is the father of your son. Don't look at him. Don't look at her. He is the father of your son. You don't have the right to say, I don't want him to have anything to do with him. You don't have that right. If a judge tells you that because it's not in the child's best interest, the judge will make that decision. But I'm telling you that you don't have the right, just because you wear the mantra mother, to say this person who had father a child, who you lived with off and on, who this child knows as his father, you don't have the right to cut off that relationship. And you may have the right to cut off the relationship with the older child and him. That's unfortunate if he's been in that child's life for a long time. But you certainly don't have the right to cut off a relationship with his biological son. That's very stupid.
So it's all right to let my son go over there while he, have sex with these 2 women at the same time, out drinking, having his other girlfriend,
Miss Henderson,
taking my child to daycare.
Miss Henderson, listen to me carefully. You can be the drama lady from today until tomorrow. You do not impress me. You are not listening to what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying to you is, you're no bargain either. You've had 2 out of wedlock children.
Correct.
As far as I can tell, somebody else was at least marginally supporting you. I don't know who supports you now. What I'm telling you is, the 2 of you aren't bargains. However, maybe between the 2 of you, you can make one perfect parent. Maybe 50% you, 50% him. You don't have the right to tell him he can't see his son. Your case is dismissed, sir. She gave you $3,000. It's over. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm not mad. I'm just glad that she voiced her opinion about me being able to see my children.
I know his lifestyle, and, I really don't want my child growing up like he did.
Judge Judy asked her who helped support her. She lives with a 72-year-old sugar daddy.
I know what goes on when the children aren't there.
Maybe if I'm living the lifestyle she accused me of, maybe she still wants a part of it. I don't know.
He's not ready to be a father.
She'd still be in my house and still be with my kids right now. She wouldn't, she'd just leave the drugs and everything else alone,
He'll go his separate way and I'll go my separate way.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Rushworth versus Tripp, step forward.
Broker coordinator Sheila Rushworth is suing her ex-boyfriend, project manager Clay Tripp, for breaking an apartment lease and for his share of household bills. Clay says Sheila kicked him out.
Miss Rushworth, you have 2 children, is that right?
Yes, I do.
How old are they?
14 and just turned 11.
According to your complaint, you and Mr. Tripp were in a relationship and decided to lease an apartment or a home together.
Correct.
You did so and moved in with your 2 children. There came a time when the 2 of you weren't getting along anymore. Mr. Tripp moved out of the apartment.
Yes.
There was an altercation. He moved out of the apartment, and you want him to pay his share of the remainder of the lease because you evidently had an agreement where you would each pay half the rent.
Correct, yes.
In addition, you say that he left owing some household bills and that you lost some days' pay because he filed a false restraining order against you that you had to take time to have resolved. Mr. Tripp says that you harassed him by phone after the breakup, which inspired his request for a protective order, that he owes you nothing for the rent because you had an agreement, according to him, that he can establish, and that agreement was you told him in exchange for keeping his part of the security deposit, you would take care of the rest of the rent and bills. And it wasn't until after you ascertained that he was in another relationship, a relationship where he was having a child with somebody else, that you decided that he owed you the money. That's your defense.
That's right.
When did you sign this lease, Miss Rushworth?
I had originally lived in the home for 1 year prior to signing the lease with the defendant.
How were you paying the rent at that time?
The rent at that time was at a reduced amount. It was at $1,100 a month. Once Clay moved in with us, it was then increased to $1,600 a month.
When did Mr. Tripp sign the lease?
The lease was signed by both of us on May 1st, and I have a copy of that.
And prior to May 1st of 2004, you lived there for 1 year paying the rent all by yourself.
Correct, and I have a copy of the first page of that lease as well.
Okay. You had already paid $1,100 as security deposit. There was another $500 owed. Who paid the $500?
There was an additional $500 for the security deposit
That's
that
what I
was
said.
borrowed from my parents.
Is that correct, Mr. Tripp?
Your Honor, I'll have to say that, no, I believe I put the money up for that security deposit at that time.
You have a check?
No, I don't have a check. I paid in cash. We did, however, live together in that home from July of the year previously with the knowledge of the owner, who insisted we sign the lease come the next turn of events.
Ah, I see. So you lived there for almost a year,
Almost a year.
paying $1,100 a month rent.
Precisely, which was below market, but it was right next to...
And how much did you contribute of the $1,100?
Half.
Is that right?
Yes.
Where is the father of your two children?
My 14-year-old's father lives in Mira Mesa.
How much child support does he pay?
He pays $335 a month.
Father of your other child?
He lives in Colorado, and he pays $300 a month.
Okay, let's get to the rent. When did you move out, sir?
I moved out December 1st.
What precipitated your moving out?
The tensions had increased over finances, and basically she told me to get out of her house in no uncertain terms.
Is that right, Miss Rushworth?
Minus a few details is correct.
So you told him to leave?
That was because he threw water at me. He threw a glass of water at me, and then after that...
So was what you're telling me, you want the rent on this house from December when he left until the end of the lease in May?
Yes.
You're not going to get it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sheila Rushworth says ex-boyfriend Clay Tripp owes for breaking an apartment lease and for household bills.
You were living there with your two children, so that you were three people. He's one person, and yet from the time he moved in, he paid half the bills. So, quite honestly, I don't know what you're doing here with regard to the rent.
That's exactly why we're here, because the two of us couldn't decide on the rent and how it should be handled. As far as the other remaining portion of it, the monthly bills that we had, household bills that we had in effect at the time he left, is all I'm asking for him to pay his share of. The SDG&E, the trash, the water, the cable.
Well, how much does that come to?
When you take off the rent, it's about $1,000.
And when he gave you money prior to you having difficulty, did he give you money by check or cash for these bills?
He would give me cash depending on the amount of his check, but for the 3 months prior to this event occurring, he was having his wages garnished by the IRS, so they would take $1,200 of his check. If he only had $300 or $400 out of the check, he might give me $100 of it.
That's what happens when you play house.
Sure, that's exactly, and that's what I mean by sometimes it was more.
Then I've just resolved the issue for you, madam.
The items that he's saying he's paid.
I've just resolved the issue for you, madam. It's over. It's over. He played house for a while. It didn't work out. He does not strike me as a deadbeat. What he did was say to you, I am in effect assisting and supporting your children.
He also would work from home.
So what difference does that make?
Which facilitates...
No. Shh.
Yes, Your Honor.
That doesn't make any difference. Miss Rushworth. If he worked out of your home, that means he worked out of the home that he had before you, I assume.
Which was with me. For 6 years, we lived together.
Oh, so why are you telling me, madam, that this was a relatively recent thing?
Clay and I moved in together in September of 1999. After 2 years of living there, he left on a moment's notice. I was evicted. We got back together. He never once made up for it. He moved in with me at the apartment when I was living there because he was evicted from his place.
He didn't move in with you, madam.
I let him move in with me.
Listen.
He's been...
Miss Rushworth.
Yes.
It's over.
Yes.
The rent is over. The gas bill is over. I'm not interested in the rent and the gas bill. I'm interested in the final part of your claim, which is that he filed false allegations against you, which required you to defend a protective order.
The allegations he filed, I did not say were false. I just said he filed allegations and then didn't bother to show up at the hearing.
He's allowed to do that.
I felt
He's
just
allowed
arbitrarily
to do that.
not show up after I'm required to attend the hearing?
Absolutely. Very often people say, listen, the allegations are true, but we had a long-term relationship. All I wanted to do was stop harassing me. So I'm going to file this. I'm going to give her a wake-up call. Wake up. It's over. Don't call me anymore.
He only did that at the instance of his girlfriend. His girlfriend is the one who instigated it because the restraining order was restraining me from contacting her.
And he's filed one for every girlfriend he's had over the last 12 years.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, but she's leaving a lot out.
Just a second. She's not leaving anything out that I require.
Okay.
So, Miss Rushworth, he's moved on. What you're annoyed about is that he moved on before you were finished with each other.
No, I'm actually more annoyed at the fact that he's, slept with my best friend. Now they're having a baby.
That's what I'm...
And now they're
Miss Rushworth,
doing all kinds of stuff. And so there's a whole lot of other issues.
I tried to say that more delicately, that he moved on with his
at
life.
This point, that's exactly where it comes to, and I appreciate you pointing that out.
I'm just saying that it's a little more, I would try to say it a little more delicately than you did. He moved on with his life before you were finished with your life together. And that was aggravating. You had a 6-year relationship, not just a year relationship. And I can imagine that you are really angry. Time to say, period.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
May I
and I say the same. Period.
Your Honor. May I give him the remaining documents that I had at the house that he doesn't have?
You give them to Bird.
Great.
Bird will take care.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. On the calendar in the matter of Soderblom versus Martin. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Oh, goodness gracious me. All right, which one of you goofballs rented this hotel room to have a party?
Yeah, this is my witness here, Your Honor.
This goofball right over there. Raise your hand. Goofball. Good.
It's me.
Perfect. And so you went into an unsuspecting hotel with a bunch of barely out of their teens goofballs, and they proceeded to wreck the place. Right?
Yes.
And now you come to court and you say, oh, you go figure it out. So I guess I have to do it because it's my job. But it's irritating. Do you understand how irritating that? Why are you smiling?
I don't know.
Well, don't. It's irritating. Okay. Where do you live?
St. Louis.
On what date did you rent this hotel room?
The night of December 23rd.
Why?
We were bored and we wanted to have something to do, I guess. We were going to play poker.
And how many people did you invite to the hotel room?
There's probably between 10 and 15 people there.
And what was the name of this hotel?
The Days Inn.
When you rented this room, who was responsible for bringing the alcohol? Raise your hand.
No.
You had to watch that in slow motion. It was really quite interesting. And what kind of alcohol did you bring?
Just Bud Light.
How much?
I had about a 12-pack or more.
12-pack or more. Did they make a 16-pack?
Yeah, it was probably a 16-pack.
They make a 16-pack?
No, I just called it that. I had about 12 plus 4 more.
So you had a 12-pack and you carried 4 bottles loose?
Right.
And what about you? What did you bring?
I brought a 12-pack, but I didn't finish it.
Just for you?
Yeah.
And was your 12-pack just for you?
Yes.
And what about you?
I had some beer there, too.
Did you bring any?
Yes.
Well, why didn't you raise your hand? When I said who brought alcohol, this one raised his hand right away because he's scared to death of me, which is a very good one. This one's not too sure.
I thought you were just looking at them, asking them if they brought alcohol.
No, I'm an ecumenical abuser.
I did too.
What did you bring?
12-pack of Bud Light.
And was that just for you?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
That's better. Okay, so this is what the lawsuit is about. You rented the room on your credit card. There was some damage to the room in the amount of $360?
No, the damage total was $955. Myself and the defendant were responsible for $710. So I
You
paid...
mean responsible because you damaged $710
right,
worth?
because of our stupidity.
Yes.
And I paid him, my witness, his amount, plus the half of the $355 that he owed, because he refused to pay anything.
I wish I could figure out a way to really torture them better.
Well, you will.
You're right. Who are you?
Mary Burkhardt.
How are you related to this case?
I'm a friend of Richard's, and I was bringing him home that night.
She's the sober one that was there. The only sober one.
Who are you?
I'm DJ Felderworth.
What'd you do?
I was there at the party.
You were one of the goofballs?
Yes.
Good. Mr. Hill, I want you to describe the damage to the room that was done at the Days Inn.
There was a hole in the bathroom door, blood on the mattress.
From what?
from one of them going through the window and coming back in the room.
Yeah. Keep going.
Carpet extraction to clean the glass. Rooms got charged. Both rooms got charged because the mattress had to get replaced and the room with the window broken had to get replaced. So
you mean there were two different rooms?
The room that the window got broken in was not my room.
Whose room was that?
It was nobody's room. It was a vacant room. They were on the balcony when they were wrestling and went through a different room. It wasn't even my room, and I paid for it.
What else?
That's it. They charged for the room, the mattress, the carpet, the door, the window, an AC vent below the window, and the labor for the window.
And they had your credit card for this, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Good for you, Days In. What kind of work do you do?
I work at Subway.
You work at Subway?
Yes.
You know how many sandwiches you have to make for $955?
Yes.
Were you the only group staying at the Days Inn that night?
There were other guests there.
How many times did somebody call, knock at the door, and say, "Could you keep it down"?
There were no complaints. We weren't very loud.
Except when there were fights.
At the end, yes. That was at like 6 a.m.
No, we were fighting. No, there was. He wasn't even playing poker. This side was playing poker of the room. This side over here was like a party room.
Party room, what does that mean?
Like a party room, like where everybody's just standing up, drinking, having fun, and then everyone's over here wrestling while everyone over here is playing poker.
Everyone's not wrestling.
So,
I want you to describe to me what you did to cause Mr. Soderblom to sue you today for your portion of whatever he paid.
Well, we were in the wrestling.
In which room?
In the hotel room, and we were wrestling. Everybody was, not just me. And then by the end of the night, after poker, I started wrestling too. I admit that we started getting into it. I mean, we had a room and there's 2 beds, and we're roughhousing and stuff. And then I said I was going to leave at like 5 o'clock in the morning. There's only 5 people left. And then he followed me out of my room. And
he followed you out of the room?
Yeah. And
is that right so far? You followed him out of the room?
Skipped a part.
Right, you missed something, but I followed him.
I'm going to listen to the story. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And then it's good 10 or 15 feet to the next door. And then he came behind me, and I grabbed him as he pushed me, and he like pushed me to the window.
Okay, now you tell me your version of how that happened.
Okay. I'll skip all the BS he was talking about.
Excuse me?
No, about anything that didn't have anything to do with how the wrestling started.
Don't forget where you are, Mr. Soderblom.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What did you do being upset and after your 12-plus pack?
We started pushing each other, and he caught the back end of the window, and then I went forward, and I got a cut on my finger as well.
And later today,
the driver was there on time, and the car was...
I'm telling you, the driver was not there on time. What part of that don't you understand? Are you thick?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Brad Soderblom says former friend Richard Martin Jr. owes for damage he caused to a hotel room. Brad says a drunken Richard fell through a window.
Go ahead.
At 5 o'clock a.m., as he was leaving, I went to shake his hand. I was sitting on the edge of the bed, and he grabbed my arm and pulled me down on the ground. And then he ran out of the room thinking it was funny. I didn't think it was funny, so I chased him out, and we started arguing.
Well, you chased him out into the hall.
Right.
He was leaving.
Yes.
So the danger was gone.
Yes.
It was no longer a question if it could ever be considered self-defense. He was extricating himself from the situation.
Right.
By leaving. And you chased him outside.
Right.
Now, continue.
I followed him into the hall, and I was a little upset.
So what did you do being upset and after your 12-plus pack?
We just started arguing, and then...
Well, tell me about the argument. Were you yelling at each other?
Yes, we were yelling at each other.
At 5 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
When the other people in the hotel was sleeping?
There wasn't anybody else on the floor.
You mean you had the whole floor? You probably emptied them out?
Yes, there was no other rooms within the area where we were at.
Go ahead.
And we started arguing, yelling at each other, and we started pushing each other. And we were locked onto each other like this. He had his arms right here, and I had my arms on his. And we were wrestling, and he caught the back end of the window, and he went back into it like that, and then I went forward, and I got a cut on my finger as well. Because if I pushed him to the window, then I wouldn't have any scars or marks on me.
You want to tell me your version of, were you sober? Did you see this? Did you see this part of what happened?
Yes.
Okay, step up. Tell me your name.
Mary Burkhardt.
All right, Mary, tell me what you saw.
We left the hotel room. From what I remember, Brad was already on the floor. And we said goodbye to everybody. We were walking out down the stairs.
Who were you walking with?
Richard.
So the two of you were walking together. You left that out. Is that true?
I don't remember her being there, right there. She was by the door.
So she was outside?
Afterwards, yes.
Go ahead.
As we were walking out, we heard someone rushing up on Richard. Brad started wrestling with him, and when he grabbed him out of natural reaction, Richard grabbed him back, and they fell into the window.
Okay, good. Sit down. Mr. Soderblom, there are certain generally accepted principles of law, and one of them is that if you can say in a civil action, in a civil case, and this is a civil case, but for your actions, this incident would not have occurred, I'm comfortable in finding that he's not responsible, just you. He was leaving the room, all you had to do was, and you weren't hurt, you weren't in danger, you may have felt marginally disrespected by him. However, probably you wouldn't have felt that way if you didn't have too much to drink. Everybody was roughhousing that day. He didn't intend to hurt you. And you were not at risk in any way when you went outside and confronted him. So you caused the damage. Pay for it. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I gave the police his information, and he was contacted that morning.
The next morning, I got DWI.
They just told us that if we didn't pay for the damages, then we would be going to jail.
I think that if they didn't drink so much and not realize what they were doing, stuff like this wouldn't happen.
It changes your state of mind. You don't realize what's going on.
Me and this guy, we always get into it when we're drunk anyway, so. And then this time it just went a little bit too far.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Young versus Elahi, step forward, please.
19-year-old bank teller Chris Young is suing limo company owner Mike Elahi for ruining his prom. Chris says the limo was too small and over an hour late.
Mr. Elahi, you own a limousine company?
Yes, ma'am.
How many cars do you have?
4.
How long have you had the company?
This company is about 2 years.
What kind of cars do you have?
I have a sedan, SUV, an Excursion, and Hummer.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
you, according to your complaint, hired the defendant for a prom.
Correct.
And what kind of car did you rent?
I requested, he told me he had a 18-passenger Hummer limo.
Is that what you told him you wanted?
Right, he said that's all he had left.
Did you have a contract with him?
I have the credit card statement.
Let me see it, please. What night was your prom?
It was the night of May 15th.
And when had you reserved this?
I called her around the 12th, I believe it was.
Would you have been just as happy with the SUV or another car?
The whole reason we ordered the Hummer is because we had a couple extra people join our group.
What time was he supposed to arrive?
He's supposed to arrive at 6:30.
What time did the car arrive?
Around 8:15.
What kind of car arrived?
It was a 12-person Excursion.
Did you call the defendant between 6:30 and 8:15?
I called the defendant at 6:30 to ask where the limo was.
And where was the limo, sir?
It was at the location.
No, he called you at 6:30, sir, asking you where the car was.
At 6:30, I don't recall that. I don't recall that.
Well, you don't recall that?
No.
Well, he does. So then you must be mistaken.
I talked to 6:45. I talked to the driver, and he was with the customer.
With what customer?
With the passengers.
These passengers?
Absolutely.
No. Sir, no. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here today. What's the name of your company?
A1 Limousine.
A1 didn't do their job that night, sir. They didn't get to his house until, according to him, at least an hour and a half late.
Well, it was an hour and a half. It wasn't late at all, man. It wasn't late at all.
You don't know that at all, sir.
Yes, I talked to the driver myself.
Listen to me very carefully, Mr. Alawi.
Sure.
You can't tell me what the driver said to you. That's hearsay. Why didn't you bring the driver here?
What driver is no longer with the company.
Why not?
With the company. Well, this job is about a year ago. I tried to find a driver, but
it's not a year ago.
I wasn't successful.
All right, well, then you can't tell me anything, sir. I have to rely on what the plaintiff tells me. So the car was an hour and 45 minutes late.
All right, I have proof of the limo being late.
Can I see it, please? You still have this limousine company?
Yes, I do.
I would have suggested, Mr. Alawi, that what you do is to credit Mr. Young for that evening, or at least for a substantial part of it, because your company's not going to come out looking really good tonight.
Well, according to my note, I checked with
Here's
the
a letter
driver
from the Agora High School, from the principal, indicating that they received a distress telephone call from the parents of Chris Young, indicating that the limo, which had been ordered, had not arrived, and the students would miss the 9 o'clock deadline for admission. After conferring with me, the students were granted a half-hour extension of the deadline until 9:30.
Well, ma'am, they used the service. They used the service, and they were in the car before 7 o'clock. There was no way they were...
They were not! They were not in the car. Because, listen to me, the car didn't get there.
Well, they could have canceled the whole thing. Why did they use the service then? If the driver was late hour and 45 minutes, why did they use the service?
Where is A1 Limousine located?
West Los Angeles.
I wouldn't use them. Ever. When you have a company, and we're not getting to the condition of the limousine when it arrived, because I read that. When you have a company that accepts the responsibility of providing limousine service for high school kids for their prom, and you don't do the right thing, you have to be able to accept responsibility.
Absolutely, that's part of our job, you know, to be there on time.
And you did not. And if you did not, you're supposed to be able to say, we did not, and it's the cost of doing business, I'm going to refund your money.
Well, that's not true, ma'am. The driver was there on time, and the car was
I'm telling you, the driver was not there on time. What part of that don't you understand?
Well, I understand what you're saying, but
Are you thick? You have pictures of what the car looked like inside? Can I see it, please? Can I see it, please?
The pictures don't show any much of the mess inside. But I have a witness that saw the inside of the limo.
Who was that?
Paula.
Step up, please. Tell me your name.
Paula Smith-Shamey. I'm the mother of his date. I was there through the whole waiting for the driver.
You were the mother of his date?
Yes.
That would be you. You look very pretty, by the way.
Thank you.
What time did the car arrive?
It was about an hour and a half after it was supposed to be there. And even when the limo did finally arrive, the driver would not take them. He said that he was being told that he could not drive them, or if he drove them, he wouldn't get paid. On his own, he suggested, well, I can take you down there because it's on my way back, but I can't bring you back.
Did he bring them back?
Well, after negotiating, yes, he did take them, but there wasn't enough room. The kids sat on the floor. 2 of the kids were transported by their parents, but it was still very crowded in there. One of the kids was on the floor.
Can you describe to me what the limousine looked like?
It looked like a party vehicle. It was leopard print with mirrored ceilings. There was cans on the floor. There was dirt on the carpeting inside. And it was
Was this one of your regular cars, Mr. Alawi? That's the answer, yes or no. Was this one of your regular cars?
No, ma'am.
You subcontracted for this car.
That's correct.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested, which was $1,356.25. Mr. Alawi, I'm going to tell you something, sir. You make a big mistake as a businessman. As a businessman, you certainly don't air your dirty laundry in front of 10 million people. That's all.
I do. Parties are excused. You may step out. Down in the matter of Stevenson versus Conti. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Miss Stevenson, this is your son. Your son's name is Joseph?
Yes.
Miss Conti, this is your son, and his name is Joey.
Yes, Your Honor.
And your son, Joey, along with several friends, these 2 people among them?
They were there with us. Yeah.
They egged Mrs. Stevenson's house and car. Miss Stevenson says that in addition to doing damage to her home and her car, when you were advised about it, you said that you would take care of whatever damage was caused by your son and his friends, and then didn't do it. So she's suing you for the cost of cleaning up the house and car. Is that right?
3 cars.
3 cars.
And a garage.
And I assume you have photographs of the damage?
Yes, I do, and I also have a videotape, too, that shows everything.
Of what?
Of the defendant and his friends egging the house?
Can I see the tape
Sure you
before
can.
we even start? You know, picture's worth 1,000 words. Let's take a look. Mr. Conte, young Mr. Conte over here, he doesn't deny that he was there.
No.
And even threw an egg or two. Is that right, Mr. Conte?
Yes, Your Honor, I threw one, but it hit my own car. Actually.
Well, that was...
It was so long ago. I just know it didn't hit anything.
Joey, say nothing else.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
It's on 3 times. That's the first card. This is the second one. It does a repeat and then it has highlights. The first car is his 2 witnesses were in that car.
Why did you become involved in this vandalism, Joey?
Well, it was an ongoing game between me and Joe, I guess, because he had done this to our house before in the past, and also like on Halloween. I've seen him egg people before out of his car.
When was that?
About a couple months before.
Now, when Joseph egged your house, did you report it to the police?
No. We don't have video cameras, and we didn't have proof. We don't have...
What do you mean? Just a second. If you didn't have proof, then how do you know he did it?
Because I came outside while they were doing it, and I saw him drive up the street, and my father followed him.
Just a second. That's proof.
Your Honor,
You don't need a video camera.
Your Honor, we just went out. We hosed our garage. We hosed the car. Everything came off. We chalked it up to harmless pranks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't make a big issue out of it.
Fine. You didn't see him throw an egg at your house, did you?
That's correct.
Right. And since I don't believe him, that he threw one egg that came back and hit him in the face, I don't believe him either.
I threw it over, I was driving, and I just threw it like this, and I couldn't even make it to the house. It was pretty far away.
I don't care.
Okay.
If you tell the truth all the time, you don't have to have a good memory.
I'm just
Did anybody ever say that to you?
Yes.
Do you understand what it means?
Yes.
Good. So you and your friends are sitting around whose house when you decide to go on this egg spree?
My friend Darren's house.
Where is Darren?
He lives just up the street from
Not
Joe.
one of these 2 people.
No, he's not here. He didn't come today because...
I don't care why he didn't come. He didn't come today because he was pregnant. I don't care.
Okay.
You are sitting around Darren's house. How many people are sitting around Darren's house?
There's about 6 of us.
And how many of you have cars?
2 of us.
And how many cars were loaded up to go over to his house?
2. And we only had 4 eggs with us.
I don't believe you!
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have photographs of the house?
I have it of the cars in the garage.
I'll take a look at those.
And I have estimates.
No, I just want to look at the photographs.
Your Honor, we have witnesses here also who can attest
Which
to
witnesses?
the 4 eggs.
These 2 idiots?
The gentleman
Yeah.
here.
These 2 idiots? I'm not interested to hear what they have to say yet. Would you ask her to show me where on this car she's pointing to as a damage? I mean, I'm looking at 2 spots on your garage.
You see the egg on the garage,
Here
yes.
and here.
Now, the black car with the spots on it, that's the rear end of the Yukon. The other cars were repaired. I'm just showing you the cars repaired.
I don't see $2,000 worth of damage, madam. I'm just telling you.
Oh, well, I have...
I'm telling you, I don't see $2,000 worth of damage. Shh, listen to me carefully.
Okay.
I don't see $2,000 worth of damage. I'm not excusing him. I'm not finished with him yet, as a matter of fact. But I'm not seeing $2,000 worth of damage. Now, let's get back to you. Put your papers down.
Sorry.
What you are complaining about, and I assume your mother is complaining about, is why you are being singled out to pay for this damage rather than going after all of the other boys.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, I'm going to explain that to you.
Okay.
When you commit a crime, you're not entitled to be treated like everybody else who commits the same crime. Let me give you an example. I'm going to go back into my history. And Officer Petrie Hawkins Bird here is going to affirm what I've said because I know he's a truthful person. When I was a judge in the family court and I would get teenagers who committed crimes, much more serious ones than this, although this is annoying. And very often, there would be a group of boys who would commit a robbery. And because of the way the law is written, sometimes the cases were assigned to a different judge. One judge would try one of the boys, another judge would try the second boy, another judge would try the first boy. And every time one of the boys got me, they would say, "That's not fair. I want somebody else. I want his judge."
Understand.
And I would say, "You got the luck of the draw. You got me. It doesn't have to be equal. Everybody is equal in the eyes of the law. But that doesn't mean that you have to be treated equally."
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She is very, very Sue happy.
Maybe she came after you because you did something wrong.
Yeah, and we did do something. Sorry.
And later today,
Her father didn't approve of you.
Yeah.
Like what?
Got arrested.
For what?
Selling weed.
Selling weed?
Yeah.
You mean selling drugs?
That's right.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Deneen Stevenson says 18-year-old Joey Cotti egged her house and car. Joey says he wasn't the only one.
She picked you.
Okay.
And she picked you maybe because she doesn't like the color of your eyes. Quiet. I'm making a point here. She picked you. She says, I don't want to have to go out and hunt down his mother and his mother and his mother and go to court 4 different times. I want you to pay for all the damage that was caused to my house.
I think one of the reasons she picked me, Your Honor, is because she is very, very Sue happy. And we have evidence of her and her past, even from her own family members that have moved away just to get away from her. And she's been involved with some of the other kids before, so I think she came after me because I don't really know her.
Maybe she came after you because you did something wrong.
Yeah, and we did do something. Sorry, we did do something wrong, and
What difference does it?
We admit it.
What do you want?
Your Honor, he admitted it from the very start when the police called him.
Then why did you go
the
and
truth.
get this whole list of other people she sued?
Because the damage is not does not warrant.
I don't care about that, sir. I don't care if she sued everybody from A to M in the phone book. Do you understand? That's her prerogative. And she wouldn't have sued you if you didn't do something wrong.
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to be treated like these boys. According to you, she accepted their apology and they...
No.
No, just a second. According to you, and I'm going to read what you said in your answer. She said...
Your Honor, she asked...
I'm speaking. She even knows the driver of the second car whose apologies she accepted.
His parents came to my house.
Just a second.
Okay.
Do I look like I need your help?
No.
She can accept everybody's apology but yours. Maybe she doesn't like people with hazel eyes.
We tried to apologize, Your Honor, and she said my mom went to go apologize, and we got the whole team ready to go apologize, and I was ready, and I wrote a letter and everything to go apologize to her. And the day we were going to go apologize, my mother called her and she said, "Oh, that won't be necessary. We're going to sue you now." So this is what happened.
Just a second. How much after this incident were you going to apologize?
Oh, within the week. Within the week.
Just a second. What about the next day?
Your Honor, I didn't
I'm
find...
speaking. Not you. Him. Why didn't you go the next day?
Because we just didn't.
What do you mean, because you just didn't?
We had to get everyone together.
What do you mean, because you just didn't?
Because I wanted to get everybody together. Because I was basically the only one that admitted to doing this.
Just a minute. When did you contact the police?
The very day, that same day.
When did the police contact you?
A couple weeks after.
Not before?
No.
Did you tell him that you had contacted the police?
Yes, I confronted him in school.
When?
Like, after I realized it was his car when we watched the tape that night, so the following school day.
Step up here. You're Joseph.
Yes.
You told him the following day that you had contacted the police, or the following school day?
Yes, the following school day.
And then you just wanted to get everybody together before you went to apologize. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
But he had already told you that he had contacted the police.
Yes.
Right. You get it.
And that day I got everybody together. And we were my mom called and we were ready to go apologize. And she
Would you
wouldn't
have been
see
ready
us.
to go over and apologize if they hadn't called the police?
Yes. I would have apologized.
What catharsis did you have between the time that you egged his property and the time that you were prepared to apologize?
After he came up to me at school.
And told you that the police had been called.
He didn't tell me the police had been called that. No, he didn't tell me the police had been
What
called.
did he say?
He just said, he came up to me with a bunch of his friends, like they were trying to, they came up to me, like, aggressively. And they were like, well, did you do this? And I'm like, yes. And then that's all. They never said the police had been called. They just walked away after that.
Well, why would you want to apologize after that, Joey?
Because they were so angry about it.
You owe for the damage to their property. It's not $2,000. Get over it. It's not going to happen. Do I make myself clear?
I have my estimates right here.
I
for
don't
the
care.
cars
You
that
can
were
take the
repaired.
estimates and wallpaper with them. I see what your pictures show.
No, those after.
Then
after it's
then that is your problem. I already told you that you can take the estimates and you can wallpaper your bathroom with them. I've looked at the photographs and I don't see $2,000 worth of damage. You're not going to retire on this incident. It's ridiculous because you're a smart lady.
I don't need to
You're not-
retire on
I'm
it.
speaking. What he did was bad enough. When you exaggerate it and don't tell the truth, you're no better off than he is.
I'm not exaggerating.
You are exaggerating, madam, because anybody who calls the police because they have $2,000 worth of damage to their house and they call the police the same day, take pictures. They take pictures if they intend to pursue it, because if the police came, I'm speaking. Okay. And if the police came and took pictures, then you would have them. And if the police didn't take pictures, then you make sure that you have them in order to preserve whatever rights you want to have in a lawsuit. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $300. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
My son is never out on Halloween because we're home as a family handing out candy.
I guess it's over now since they take things very, very serious.
Oh, through the school year, she was a troublemaking mom.
I had offered Mrs. Stevenson $500 to just forget the whole thing because she made my life a living hell.
Why am I upset? Because they're liars.
She refused it. She said she couldn't accept that. So I just told her, do what you have to do then.
The kids did the damage. They don't have to pay for it. But there'll be another time.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Forzetting versus Hannah. Step forward.
Construction worker Tony Forzetting is suing his son's ex-girlfriend, 18-year-old food server Nikki Hanna, for unpaid rent and utility bills. Tony says when Nikki's father kicked her out, he let her move in.
Is this your son?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this the one who was in jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Forzetting, this young lady was this young man's girlfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
And how old are you?
18.
And for some bizarre reason, you made the foolish error of allowing her to move into your house because she and your son were boyfriend and girlfriend, right?
Correct.
And at this point, you say she owes you for rent and other expenses that she was supposed to pay for the 4 months that she was living with you. That's
Yes,
what the
ma'am.
case is about. How old are you?
20.
And your name?
Stephen Forzetting.
Stephen, how old was Miss Hannah when you met her?
16.
And how old was she when she moved into your house?
18.
Why?
Because her and her dad got into it and he threw her out.
What?
Because her and her father got into it and he threw her out.
Got into it.
Yeah,
What did they get into it about?
about me.
Her father didn't approve of you.
Yeah.
Did he have reason not to approve of you?
Yeah, because I was not doing that, not being that great.
Like what?
I got arrested.
For what?
Selling weed.
What?
Selling weed.
You mean selling drugs?
Yes, ma'am.
How many times were you arrested for selling drugs?
Just once.
So that's why her father didn't like you.
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was 2003, Christmas Eve. It was her birthday also. She got in a big fight with her dad. Her dad's thrown her out several times. I guess she didn't want to follow his rules. She was still going to school at the time. She was in her senior year. I have a daughter that's 17 at the time. I didn't want to see her on the streets.
Good. Sounds very nice. And she was going to school. Is she a full-time student in high school?
Yes, she was.
How did you expect her to pay you rent?
Well, I didn't ask her to pay me rent right away, Your Honor, when she first moved in. I told her when she got in, got a part-time job. Those would be the rules in my house to stay in
Did
school.
she get a part-time job?
She did, yeah.
When?
2 weeks down the road. I would say within a month and a half.
So sometime in February?
Yes, Your Honor.
So in February, did you ask her for any money?
I said, Nikki, you got a job. We had an agreement when you moved in. I'm not pressuring you. She indicated to me that she wasn't making that much. I said, that's fine. It's only a part-time job. Just give us what you can until you can get caught up or down the road. And
so, did she ever give you any money?
No, Your Honor.
So what are you suing her now for?
Well, come April 24th, we had the conversation again about paying rent. This time we approached it with an agreement. We had words.
At this time, was your son in the house?
No, he was not.
He was in jail?
Yes, he was.
So after your son was taken to jail, that's when you went and approached her about signing an agreement?
No, the agreement was signed several months down the road.
Oh, show it to me.
I have the agreement right here.
Can I see it, please?
It wasn't written until the 24th, which is when I moved out.
I'm talking about, sir, I'm not talking about the agreement that you wanted her to sign in April. You said that she signed one before?
No, she did not. It was all verbal before, Your Honor.
Verbal, you had no contract with us,
No
sir.
contract, all verbal.
Contract. You didn't have a verbal contract with us, sir. Your agreement was when you get a job, you'll start paying us something. And then when she got a job, a couple of months later, you said take care of your own bills first and then pay us what you can. Well, she couldn't pay anything. That's not a contract. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Now, you took her in, and you took her in because her father threw her out because of your son. When she came into your house, did they share a room?
Sure did, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm. Don't open your house to strangers, sir. It's a bad idea. Your case...
Yeah, this is case number 50 on the calendar, the matter of Aarons versus Payton. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. You folks have a seat, please.
All right, Mr. Aarons, it is your claim that Mr. Payton assaulted you.
Correct.
There is sort of a companion case here that I will address either during this case or at some point immediately after involving a Mr. Spear. Is that you?
That's correct.
And you weren't actually there during the course of this whole event, but you allege your car got damaged by Mr. Aarons while he was drunk. When did this assault take place, sir?
The assault itself occurred at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was with my friends.
I need a date, sir.
December 18th at 3 in the morning.
12/18/04.
Correct.
Where were you?
I was in the parking lot of the Hilton Hotel located in Corvallis, Oregon.
What were you doing there?
My friend had a party right next door. It was his birthday party.
And what time had you arrived at the party?
10 o'clock.
How many people were there?
Roughly 8.
A lot of drinking.
Yes, we were all over 21.
I didn't ask how old you were. I said there was a lot of drinking.
Yes, there was a lot of drinking.
What were you drinking, Ben?
I was drinking Miller Lite.
Nothing other than beer.
Correct.
And what happens?
We were outside, out front. There's a fence separating his house and the parking lot. And we were out front there. I was with my friends, Jason. Well, they weren't, they're actually acquaintances. About 3 girls came out of the Hilton Hotel. At that point, we called over to them to come over and talk to us. So they came over to where we were.
What did you say to them?
I don't exactly remember exactly what we said, but we said, hi, what's going on tonight? What are you guys doing at the Hilton? At that point, approximately 3 to 4 men came out of the hotel and immediately came over to where we were. Mr. Payton targeted me specifically, and he started going after me. I could tell he wanted to fight. He was very aggressive towards me.
Well, tell me what he did, sir.
He said as soon as he came out of the hotel, he said that he saw me looking at him and saluting in a Hitler-like way. And I don't know what he was talking about.
Do you know what he's talking about, Mr. Payton?
I know exactly what he's talking about.
What is he talking about, Mr. Payton?
When I walked out of the hotel, we walked over to the young ladies, and they seemed upset, so I walked over and asked him to stop, and he was on the other side of the fence, and he gave me one of those.
Can I interject at this point?
What were you doing at the Hilton Hotel that evening?
The dorms were closed at our university, and I was staying there for a school function.
Okay, and what time had you started drinking that night?
I'm 18 now, I didn't drink.
Okay, Ben. So you're outside.
And I'm speaking with my friends. It becomes a verbal altercation at that point. So I came over the fence.
So you jumped over the fence?
Correct, yes.
Why didn't you just go home like you were planning to go?
I wasn't planning on going home that night.
Well, what were you doing outside, Ben?
We were just out front of his house so that we didn't wake up his friends.
I don't understand that, Ben. You were outside because you were making too much noise to be inside?
That'd be correct, yes. At that point, I explained to him what I was doing.
What did you mean you explained to him? What does that mean, I explained to him?
I told him, I repeated the motion of this. I told him that's the only thing I could have possibly done at that point when he came outside. I told him that. He said, okay, that's all right. and then we shook hands. We exchanged names. We asked them what they were doing, and they said they were going to go and get beer and food. So they got in their car, and they took off. They came back about 10 minutes later, maybe 15 minutes later, and we were still outside.
What were you doing outside, Ben?
We were just sitting on the curb. There's this curb. We were just sitting there. We were just talking amongst ourselves.
Go ahead.
The 3 girls that were with them, I believe they went straight into the hotel, or
Because
they went
they didn't want to talk
entrance.
to you anymore.
I don't know if they didn't want to talk to us anymore, or if they were just
They
going
didn't
back.
want to talk to you anymore. They went right inside.
They went inside.
Go ahead.
Peyton and his friends, they stayed with us out there, and we talked. And at that point, there became a verbal altercation between Mr. Peyton and one of the witnesses, Brown. And I believe it was over food. I believe he asked them if they brought him any food back.
Where is Mr. Brown?
Mr. Brown is unable to come.
So he's not a witness.
Okay.
Because
no.
he's not here.
Okay.
So Mr. Brown, one of your friends, asked Mr. Peyton...
Well, he wasn't my friend, he was my acquaintance.
Your acquaintance.
Correct.
On your curb.
Yes.
Asked Mr. Peyton how come they didn't bring him back any food.
Yes.
You think that was because Mr. Brown maybe had a little too much to drink?
Possibly, yes.
Keep going.
So at that point, there was a verbal altercation between him and Mr. Peyton, and I believe Jason might have gotten involved in it a little bit. At that point, I got up and I got in between them, and I pushed them aside, and then I'm not sure exactly what he did. That's about where my memory ends. Shortly after that point, it was because he had struck me to the face. I received a massive concussion. I have photos here if you'd like at this time. You can take a look at that. I fell back, I hit the concrete. I lost about 1.5 pints of blood. You can see my cheek there. It was possibly dislocated.
Looked like you fell back really hard.
Yes. At that point, I had a concussion. I do not remember anything from that point
Good.
on.
Now, Brian.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
Like you said, the young ladies did come out the...
Why don't we start with the young lady?
Oh, okay, then.
Because you weren't there. The young lady was there first. Is
Can I
that right?
interject at this point?
No.
Okay.
You came out at some point of the Hilton Hotel.
Yes. Ben and his friends were yelling at us, and...
What were they yelling?
To come over and, like, what were our names, and we could tell that they were very intoxicated. And then the boys came out and were like, these guys won't leave us alone. They keep yelling at us, and they're very intoxicated. And so I believe that Brian asked them to leave us alone.
Did you go out with Brian and his friends for some food?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be a yes.
Yes.
What happened when you came back?
We got out of the car, and they started yelling and stuff like that, and then Ben started beating the car. And the car alarm...
Whose car was it?
Mine,
Your Honor. Your car. He started beating with what? With his fists?
Mm-hmm. And the car alarm was going off. All of us actually asked him numerous times to stop it, and he wouldn't. Brian went up to him to get him to stop, and Ben turned around really fast, and his fist came up, and so Brian obviously felt threatened if he was beating the car this much, and so Brian hit him, and he fell back on the ground and hit his head.
Okay. The police were called?
Yes.
You have the police report?
I have the police report, and
I'd like
if
to
there's
see it,
something I
please.
could say. The police interviewed all the witnesses.
I'd like to see both police reports, and Ben, I can read. You don't have to tell me what it says.
Can I just point one out thing, though, please?
Yes?
They interviewed all the witnesses there, and they took down their names. Her name's nowhere in the police report.
Well, it may not be in the police report, but did they take down the names of the 3 girls who were...
No, they did not.
Well, so?
I don't recognize her at all. I'm not sure who she is. They interviewed everyone who was there at the time
Listen
of the
to
incident.
me. You were so blind drunk, not a question in my mind that you wouldn't know her if she came up and bit you in the behind. You said there were 3 girls that came out. It's my job to ascertain who tells the truth and who lies. She told a very cogent story. There is no reason to say that she's lying about being one of the 3 girls that came out that night that spoke to you.
Why didn't the police interview her then?
I have no idea, sir. I have enough trouble figuring out why I'm here.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
We were drinking, him included. He started picking a fight. I can quote him on, I can kick 2 of your guys' right now. And,
Hands off your hips.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ben Aaron says during a night of partying, he was assaulted by college football player Brian Payton. Brian says Ben was drunk and out of control. In a separate lawsuit, Adam Spear is suing Ben Aarons for denting his car.
How did you get the injuries to your hands, sir? How did you get the injuries?
I didn't have any injuries on my hands.
I noted that Mr. Aarons had injuries to both of his hands. He had abrasions and red marks on his fingers that were consistent with him striking something.
This is the photograph of the injury to my hands. This is the dent that my hands allegedly created.
That's one hand. I'll take a look at it. Absolutely.
If you look in the report, it says injuries to both hands.
Right.
If there is injury to both hands, you would see it. The only thing that photo shows is a red strap mark from where I was strapped into the stretcher. You can see that.
No. Police officer noted, sir, that there were massive dents on a car. That would be Mr. Spear's car. And the police officer said to you, did you strike that car? And you said, I don't remember. That was the answer that you gave to the police.
Correct.
Police also said that in addition to beer, you drank liquor.
Yes.
That's what you told the police.
Okay, yes.
You didn't remember to tell me that.
I'm sorry.
Police officer also noted that you and your friends were all drunk. Right?
Correct.
Okay, good.
Could I interject with one more thing, please? I have a medical report from when I was there. They did a full body analysis on me. There is nothing in there about any injury to my hands. The only thing I could have imagined that he would have seen is I have a medical injury.
Let me explain something to you, sir. You hit his car. You were drunk, and you fisted his car. You may not remember it, but that's what you did. That's what happens when you drink too much. Ben?
Allegedly, yes.
That's what happens when you drink too much, sir. You act goofy and stupid. You try to pick up girls that don't want to have anything to do with you. You hang around where you shouldn't be hanging around outside, and you act goofy and stupid, and you get yourself into trouble when you drink too much. Isn't that right?
Not entirely, no.
Well, you were acting goofy and stupid, too, according to the police report. All of his friends were drunk.
Oh, does it specify my name in there?
Were you at the party?
Yes, I was.
And you weren't drunk?
They didn't take individual
I
statements.
didn't ask you that question, sir. I said...
I was drinking, but I was not drunk, Your Honor. I'm here for a reason. I'm not his friend. I met him that night.
Good.
I'm here because I can remember things. Everybody else there was too wasted.
Why? She wasn't wasted.
Huh? I'm talking at the party that we were there.
This young lady isn't wasted, sir.
And you know what? She also wasn't there at the moment of the assault.
Step up. Step up. Go ahead.
Trying to twist that around a little bit. I'm not denying that he hit any car.
Good. So let's start there.
Let's start
there. He hit the car.
I did not see him hit the car, no.
Okay. So you weren't there the entire time?
No, I was outside most of the time. I was inside for maybe 3 minutes the whole time.
He was there when I actually got hit. And
I was there and witnessed the assault.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it? Okay.
Take your hands off your hips.
We were standing there having drinks. His friends and him among us had beer. They brought a case of beer. We were drinking, him included. He, Mr. Payton, was pretty hot-headed the whole time. The moment he came up, he started picking a fight with me and Brown, who's not here today. I can quote him on, you guys are pretty stupid. I don't want to hang out with you guys. I don't want to sit here and drink with you. I'm going back to my hotel. I can kick 2 of your guys right now. That set me, who's pretty hot-headed, if you can't tell, and Brown off. We kind of got up in his face, and he did the same. Some words were said. That's when Ben said he came up and tried to break up the thing. He went back to the hotel for a while with the girls. We still hung out with his 2 other friends. He came back out. And
hands off your hips.
All right. He came back out. Some more words were said. Ben, at the time, was sitting on the curb drinking a beer. He stood up. Ben wasn't even looking at him. We were all talking. He walked over to Ben and cheap-shotted Ben in the jaw.
So after they left, instead of going back to the house, you stayed in the parking lot. You remember why?
It's a place to sit. We were there already. I can just stay where I want, I believe. It's not against the law.
I love it when it all comes together. Just let them talk. Right?
That's what you do best.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Payton.
Yes.
Here's your problem, sir. Your problem is the statement that you made to the police. And the sum and substance of that statement was that he was loud and obnoxious and drunk.
Yes.
And he kept hitting on Mr. Spear's car.
Correct.
And you told him to stop. and he walked away, and he came back, and he hit the car again. And then you hit him.
That's basically, yes, what happened. I didn't intentionally walk to him to hit him. Like, I came back around the vehicle because I walked through the back of the vehicle towards the Hilton.
Whatever. Let me tell you what you said to the police,
Okay.
Mr. Payton. You said to the police, I told him to knock it off. Mr. Payton said that he started to walk away twice, and each time Mr. Aarons began striking the vehicle again. Mr. Payton said that he told Mr. Aarons one last time to quit striking the vehicle, and when he failed to stop, he hit him.
Yeah.
I asked Mr. Payton how many times he hit Mr. Aarons, and he said twice. And that you struck him both times in the face.
Yes.
And you said you were shocked that he fell down because you didn't think you'd hit him that hard. Well, but he was drunk.
Yeah.
Now you can stand up. I'm going to hear this other case. You want to get that folder now because I don't have to hear it twice. I've just heard the facts of the case. This is Spear against Aarons.
Case number 49.
Very good. You have an estimate for the damage to your car?
Yes, I do.
May I see it, please?
Would you like the court fees that it's been costing me?
No, just the damage to the car.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's Mr. Norris? Is he a friend of yours?
Yes.
Okay. Let me tell you what Mr. Norris told the police. This is in the police report. This is the interview. Mr. Norris stated that after Mr. Payton told Mr. Aarons 3 different times to stop hitting the car, he walked up and struck him in the face.
Yeah, I'm not denying that I hit him.
You can't do that. Brian, you can't do that. Now, do you have any unreimbursed medical bills, sir?
Yes, sir. Oh, ma'am.
Hand them up. These are all unreimbursed medical bills, is that right?
Correct.
You had no insurance.
My insurance was denied, yes, no insurance.
You go to school full time?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. You have a job?
No, ma'am.
You can't hit somebody because they're damaging property. He has over $5,000 in unreimbursed medical bills. You have to take care of that. I say this to you, sir, that I think you behaved badly that night, but for the fact that this young man had no right to hit you, believe me, you would leave here today without a judgment. But the law is clear. You cannot defend somebody else's property with physical violence. So I'm awarding you your judgment of $5,000. You are entitled to that. On your claim, I'm awarding you a judgment against Mr. Aarons for $1,500 so that you can fix your car. Anything you want to say to me?
I have right here a list of all the instances where people were hit by OSU football players in the past several months here. And I believe that this shows that there's a lot of animosity from athletes who are out of line and out of control. This happened at 3 a.m. past curfew.
Listen to me, sir. I have no particular axe to grind. I don't even like athletes. What I don't like are young people who get so drunk that they can't remember what's happened. According to the police, according to the doctor, you reeked of alcohol, you had no memory of the assault because you were drunk. Because if you had had any kind of negative vibes with them during the course of the evening, and if you were sober, I can't believe you would be stupid enough to sit in the parking lot of the hotel where they were staying, not you. That's what you keep wanting to answer me, sir, and I'm telling you, that's what happens when you're drunk and stupid. Bad things happen. That doesn't mean he had the right to assault you. It just means that your actions, your purposeful actions in consuming too much alcohol was the proximate cause of all of these events that spiraled out of control that night. And if that's the way you can consume your alcohol, I suggest to you that you don't drink anymore. This case is over. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Mr. Manthorn, you are an event planner, according to what I read in your complaint.
Yes, Your Honor.
You plan different kinds of trips.
I'm actually a club promoter, not an event coordinator.
Well, but you were planning trips.
Yes.
This particular event was a trip.
Yes.
Mrs. Morante wanted to plan a weekend with some friends, and she answered your ad. Your ad was for what kind of a weekend, Miss Morante?
Freestyle ski trip.
What does that mean?
Freestyle is a type of music, like classical or disco. It's a certain type of music.
Would somebody my age like that kind of music?
Not at all.
You answered that very fast, Mr. Lorenzo. Do you know what freestyle music is?
I have no idea.
Couldn't you hum something in freestyle?
No, I don't really want to.
Okay. Anyway, and that was the ad that you placed, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you signed up, you gave him a deposit?
Correct.
And how much was the deposit?
$250. $50 per girl. There were 5 girls.
2 days? Saturday,
yes, from
Sunday?
Friday night arrival, Sunday morning departure.
So 2 nights?
Correct.
Okay. And she paid you?
Yes, she did.
She went on the weekend eventually, even though the date was changed.
The ski trip that I had promoted for was canceled. The date wasn't changed. The freestyle event was canceled for that weekend.
That I never knew about until now, today.
That was canceled.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you planned something else. Why was that canceled?
Okay, it was canceled due to the lack of people. We couldn't get people to go on the ski trip weekend.
Because nobody knows what it is. So then you planned something else.
No. What I did, I put them on a different ski trip for the following weekend.
Without our knowledge.
Well, just a second. You planned something else for them.
I gave them an alternative. I gave them 2 alternatives. I gave them, alternative number 1 was give them their deposit of $250 back.
That's a lie.
Shh. Or I could put them on the second week.
Just a second. Shh, listen to me. She gave you the $250.
She mailed it to me, the deposit of $250.
Okay. So you had her address.
Yes, I did.
Can I see the letter that you sent her indicating that you were canceling the freestyle weekend, but you were giving her 2 options? Can I see that letter?
There was no letter.
Stop. That's all I wanted.
Thank you.
There was no letter. But one way or another, you got on this second weekend that they had planned, you and 4 friends.
Me and 3 other girls.
And 3 other girls.
One was soon to be my sister-in-law.
Please, I don't need that information.
Okay.
I have a very, very busy day today. And you say it was a trip from hell.
It was a disaster.
Can I see the ad for the weekend?
The original that I picked up?
The original.
This is the original.
The original? That's the only one that he's got? Because...
No, I received the second one.
Oh, you did receive it?
At the hotel.
Oh, okay. Not before you went?
Not before I went.
Okay. So tell me, now this looks like a very nice promotion.
Yes.
This is what you've sent out, right?
Yes, I was still promoting for that, yes.
Good. And what you're suing for, sir, is she stopped payment on the $940.
Yes, she did, and I have the check right here.
I believe you. She doesn't deny it. She says that it was a disaster. So I'm going to hear her. Okay. Tell me why it was a disaster.
Okay. Prior to leaving for the trip, Brian changed the dates on us 1 week in advance.
You went. You didn't have to go.
Okay.
You went.
We went to the bus location with him saying that he was going to meet us there Friday evening at about 6 p.m. with about 4 or 5 buses waiting to hurl 500 people up to this freestyle music weekend. There's no Brian. There's only 2 buses. We were not on any kind of list, my name or any of the girls that were with me. To get on the bus, we had to sit there and talk to people that did not know who we were.
So
what we
you first had a problem with the organization.
Right.
You finally got on a bus.
We finally got on a bus. The minute we sat down, we smelled marijuana. We refused to sit on a bus with marijuana for our health reasons, and we weren't planning this kind of ghetto weekend. We were trying to go away to have a nice weekend trip. And this was not something that I would ever be interested in.
Okay.
So we complained. They opened up the vent on the bus and sprayed air freshener. I walked right off the bus with the 3 girls.
Okay.
Called my husband, called Brian. He did not pick up his cell phone. He didn't show up.
What did you do next?
I complained to the bus drivers. I complained to the other promoters who never heard of me, who didn't even know who Brian was. And they told us to
get on another bus?
They made us get on another bus. Correct.
Was that bus okay?
That bus had a lot of drinking and cursing. It was better than the marijuana, but it was not acceptable once we were en route.
Did you get to where you were going?
We did, without being able to use the bathroom, all 3 girls.
When you got to where you were going, tell me about the accommodations that you had.
We walked in. People from the first bus were mimicking, saying things to us because we complained about the pot smoking. They were saying we were troublemakers.
I'm not interested in what they were saying about you. I'm interested in the accommodations.
Okay, well, the accommodations was a room that, had 2 double beds. We were, all 4 girls staying in the same room together.
Did you stay?
We stayed in the hotel room with the doors locked, towels under the door because of the marijuana.
You stayed in the hotel?
Correct, we did.
Why didn't you go home?
I had no way of getting home. He came and picked me up, and he cut his bachelor party short because he was in Atlantic City with my brother and the rest of the guys. And he had to drive over 3 hours to come pick me up, and we had to go home with him squished like sardines in a truck, 4 girls and suitcases and everything because we refused to get back on the bus with the people that was ghetto that we would not want to be around. Going home another 3 hours. We were not allowed to use the bathroom in the bus unless we took alcohol shots from strangers. It's ridiculous.
Listen to me. I don't understand.
You find it funny. I don't think it's funny.
Miss Moranti, listen to me.
You weren't there.
Miss Moranti, listen to me. I don't understand why you would stay in the hotel.
Well, there was.
She's lying, Your Honor.
I'm lying? You weren't even there.
No.
Okay?
Mr. Mann, listen, if you can't behave yourself, that's not going to bode well for your success in this case. Do you understand?
Yes,
ma'am. Were you supposed to be on this trip, Mr. Mann?
I was going, originally I was going to go, but I'm in the National Guard, and I had drill that weekend.
Show me. I believe you're in the National Guard. Show me that you were on a drill that weekend.
My drill assembly schedule was at home, but I let Joanne know and I let Liz know.
No, you did not.
Just a second. Did you tell them before you took their money that you weren't going to be there?
I told them when they came to make the final payment that I wasn't going to be there.
That's a lie. I never made final
Just a second.
She never made final payment with me. Liz came to my place of business and was going to make final payment, and that's when I let them know that the ski trip was canceled, and I would give them two options. Option number one, I'll give them back the deposit.
How much profit did you make on this, sir?
I made $50 off each girl, so I made $200.
And you were the subcontractor?
I was the sub-promoter, yes.
Because you said, I'll get a certain number of bodies for you to go.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
That's how it works, yes.
Did you explain that to Miss Moranti, that you were not promoting this, that you were
I told her I was a sub-promoter. The main promoter is on top of the flyer.
And he wasn't there.
Just
it was
a
different company.
Just a second. All I want to know is, did you tell Miss Moranti that this was not something that you were organizing and promoting?
Yes.
You were merely selling that, is that right?
Yes.
No, he told me he was a promoter and his phone number's on that card.
If you're going to be fixed with what's in your head and not listen to my question, you're not helping yourself.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't hear it or understand.
Because you're not listening, you have to put on your listening ears.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You have a counterclaim for your pain and suffering. And right now, what you're being to me is a pain. And I'm suffering.
And later today.
What a con artist. I mean, does she think that we're stupid, that she's going to be able to resolve this issue with those kind of answers?
Hope springs eternal.
Sit down, April.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Promoter Brian Manthorn says former client Joanne Morante owes for the balance on a weekend ski trip. Joanne says the trip was unsafe.
Did the plaintiff ever tell you that he was not in charge of promoting this event?
No, he didn't.
Listening ears, that somebody else was in charge of promoting this event, and all he was doing was providing bodies at $50 a person.
No, he didn't.
Of course not. Don't fib to me, sir.
Your Honor.
Listen to me. Did you tell her that this was not your gig, that you didn't know anything about it, but that you were getting $50 a head for every person that you brought in?
I didn't tell her what I was getting. I told her that I was sub-promoting. Yes, I did. I didn't tell her that I was.
You're a
I didn't tell her what I was
Swiftie.
making.
I don't believe you. Did he tell you that?
No.
Of course not. I don't believe you. That's a fib.
Thank you.
Well, Your Honor, I also have a tape. She's claiming something about the bus ride. I also have a tape that Liz left on my voicemail message about the bus ride. Can I play it?
Absolutely.
Saved voice message.
Hey, what's up? Just wanted to call you that,
Is that
I
Liz?
was a bit happy they changed this bus, which is
Yeah.
much better than what we were before. And what I was trying to tell you before was like, it was like really ghetto and
See?
like, I don't know, it just felt like weed and stuff, which was like, I don't know. But now they changed us to another bus, so much better. So we're like more happier. So if anything, I'll talk to you. All right, bye.
That's exactly what she said.
Yes, and that was
She
before.
said that the second bus. She said the second bus. She had to drink and everything like that.
That's correct. She used a bathroom.
She
How
said
ghetto.
the second bus was better. Why should she have to tolerate the first bus?
Absolutely, I agree with her 100%.
Good. Then you get nothing. Stick with what you know, sir. It sounds to me like she had a horror show of a weekend. It was so bad that she wouldn't return on the bus back home, and she asked her husband, who will vouch for that, I assume, to cut his weekend short, to come and pick up the 4 girls because they were so put off by what was going on with the bus that they didn't want to take the bus home. Why do you think she would do that if it wasn't miserable?
Because she calls me a con artist.
You are. You are.
Okay, if I'm such a con artist,
you are.
If I'm such a
you are.
Your Honor, if I'm such a con artist, then when she wrote me these checks, I would have cashed them the day of.
That's your problem.
I never
tell
did
her
that.
when to cash the check.
Absolutely, she
Your
did.
counterclaim's dismissed.
She absolutely did. She said.
Do you understand?
I guess.
You guess. You know why?
No.
Very easy. Because you have a counterclaim for your pain and suffering. And right now, what you're being to me is a pain. And I'm suffering. Because I already told you that this is a court. And in a court, when I look at you, you testified he was quiet. So your counterclaim is dismissed. That's your punishment.
It's a big punishment.
It is. It absolutely is. So you got $250 deposit. That check went through. Is that right?
Yes, it went through.
You got $50 a person for how many people?
For 4 people.
That's $200. That's $450. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
How much money are you out?
I'm out $940 minus $200.
That's right.
That'd be $7.
That's what you're out. Don't do it again. Stick with what you know. If you con somebody into thinking that they're going to have a great weekend and they have a miserable weekend, there has to be consequences. That's your consequence. $750. Your counterclaim's dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Brian's a con artist. He got what he deserved.
Outrage that somebody can pay for something, spend the whole entire weekend, and still get away with not paying for it.
It was just horrible. It was terrible. There was marijuana going on.
Marijuana use is illegal. She had a choice to get off that bus.
It was out of control, ghetto, something that I would never take part of.
When she seen that it was so ghetto, quote unquote, she could have left. She chose to keep going.
He deceived me from the beginning.
Stay away from prissy girls like that.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Liebhardt versus Malone. Step forward.
19-year-old student Angela Liebhardt is suing her ex-boyfriend, automotive technician Michael Malone, for the return of her furniture and for throwing away her computer. Michael says the computer had a virus.
Miss Liebhardt, you and the defendant lived together for a brief period of time and claimed that when you moved out, you left some of your stuff there for the defendant to store. You don't want it back anymore. And then there was a computer that Mr. Malone says he got tired of storing and it was broken anyway, so he threw it out. Okay. When did you meet him?
I met him in December of '03.
Where?
At a bar that a friend of mine owns.
How soon did you move in with him?
It was almost immediately.
What does that mean? I mean, that night, the next day?
It was probably about a week or so.
What made you make such a precipitous move?
It was an error in judgment.
Okay. What did you bring with you?
I brought my bed with me. Things were given to me during the relationship. The computer was given to me approximately a month before we broke up.
By whom?
My grandmother.
Was it a new computer?
Yes, brand new.
How old were you when you moved in with him?
18.
How old are you?
29.
29. All right. When you moved out in June?
Yep.
Under what circumstances?
He told me to leave.
Did he say why?
We were done.
You weren't getting along anymore?
Yeah.
Why did you leave the computer?
I was leaving town for a few days, and I asked him if it was okay if I left my stuff there for a few days. He told me it was all right. I could leave it there as long as I needed, and I've attempted to get it back on numerous occasions, and he's never there.
Well, after you left in June, when was the first time that you attempted to get your computer and furniture back?
It was 3 days after I moved out.
Tell me what you did.
I called him up, and he wasn't home, and I told him that that's when I would be back in town, is in 3 days.
So you called him up, he wasn't home?
Yes.
So, what'd you do next?
I waited a few days and called him again.
And did you speak to him?
I made an appointment to go and get my stuff with him.
So that was about, let's say, a week later, you made an appointment to go and get your stuff?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Are you making it up as you're going along, or is that the truth as you remember it?
Angela Liebhardt says ex-boyfriend Michael Malone threw away her computer. Michael says the computer was junk.
Step up. What is your last name?
Renee Williams.
Okay. Miss Williams, when for the first time did you contact Mr. Malone?
I started attempting to call him in October.
Did you ever speak to him?
There was a couple times. One time we set a time to meet. At that time he had...
To meet to do what?
So that I could get Angela's stuff for her.
What furniture is there?
There is like a china cabinet and like a hutch type thing, like a buffet.
Something that's wooden?
Yes, 2 wooden things.
Okay. Where are her 2 wooden chests that she has?
They're in the back room at my house.
Okay, you have no objection if she comes and gets those, do you?
No, not at all.
Good. 5 days from today, you may bring a peace officer if you wish. There'll be an order. Those 2 items are to be in the front of the house. Do you understand?
Yes.
5 days from today, 9 a.m. You'll get a formal order of that. With regard to the computer, sir, you're going to have to convince me why you don't owe her $1,073.67 for the computer.
At first, I had no problem with them getting the computer. Then the computer broke,
and we were getting ready to move, and it was junk to me. I've had them say, you can come get it, you can do whatever.
Well, at that point it was junk, sir, because if you were using it, and if it broke while you were using it, you're responsible for it.
He didn't say that we could come get it. First he told her that it was at his mom's. Then his wife told me that it was stolen. And now he's saying that it's junk.
Step up. Your name?
April Malone.
April? Mm-hmm. Did you ever tell Miss Williams that the computer was stolen?
Yes, that's what I had known that it was. I didn't know that.
What do you mean you had known? That's what you had known that it was. Explain that to me.
I was told that it was stolen. I didn't know that it was broken.
Who told you that it was stolen?
Some of his family members.
What about him? You didn't ask him?
No.
You didn't say to your husband what happened to you? His family members told you it was stolen? April, look at me. She says to you, where's the computer? You say to her, it's stolen.
I don't know anything about the computer. To my knowledge, I knew it was stolen.
Well, just a second. You're living with your husband, right, April?
Yes.
So it had to be your husband that told you it was stolen.
I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about this relationship.
Are you listening to what I'm saying? I'm not asking you about relationship. Pay careful attention. You don't get off the hook, because I shake it until I get the truth. That if you told her the computer is stolen, you got that from your husband.
I'm not sure who I got it from. I tried resolving this problem. I offered to claim it on our home insurance policy. I called them, and I had called my father-in-law because I did not know who the insurance policy was through. I still don't.
So what did you do? You called your father-in-law and said, I want to know who our insurance carrier is, right?
Yes, I tried that.
What do you mean you tried? So, did you get an answer?
No, I did not.
Why didn't you get an answer? They don't want to talk to you?
My father-in-law is only home like once a week. He travels.
God. What a con artist. I mean, does she think that we're stupid, that she's going to be able to resolve this issue with those kind of answers?
Hope springs eternal.
Sit down, April. Does it embarrass you to stand up in front of 10 million people and appear to be so foolish?
No.
How many children?
What I could do.
Let me ask you a question. How many children do you have?
I don't have any children.
Try keeping it that way.
I plan on it.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,073.67. 5 days from today, you can go get your property. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I tried to get my belongings.
For on account of the matter of Burden versus Duncan. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Miss Burden, you were supposed to be married in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And according to your complaint, the defendant was a guest of a member of your wedding party.
Mm-hmm.
You were all supposed to be traveling from one place to another by plane. Where were you coming from?
We came from Flint, Michigan.
And you were going to Las Vegas?
Las Vegas.
Your complaint alleges that Miss Duncan, while you were waiting for the plane in Michigan, I assume.
In Atlanta.
That was a layover?
Mm-hmm.
Got drunk. And because she was drunk and unruly, your entire wedding party was thrown off the plane. You missed your wedding. All your deposits were lost. You're still not married, all because of her bad behavior.
That's true.
That's what you allege. Okay, so you hadn't met her before?
No.
Who was she the guest of?
My cousin Tiara.
Is she here today?
Yes, she is.
That's Tiara.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell me the story. I'm listening.
We got to Atlanta, and we were going to get on the next plane to get to Las Vegas. AirTran had overbooked each flight 15 to 20 people, so we had to wait for the next flight. That was at 9 o'clock in the morning. The second flight was at 11:25. We're on standby, so we're on a list.
Why were you on standby?
That's the buddy passes, they're standby tickets.
How many buddy passes did you have?
I had, for me and my fiance, his uncle and aunt, and my cousin and her two friends.
Where did you get them from?
Ibrahim, a friend of the family.
Ibrahim.
That's
He's
you.
here as a witness, too.
What's your last name, sir?
Abdul Rahim.
Mr. Rahim, where did you get these buddy passes from?
I work for the airline. We get 6 buddy passes a year. Once Tiara said that she had a cousin going to get married, I tried to help him out. So I got them from 2 other friends that work for AirTran.
So you get 6 per year. How much do you pay for them?
They're $50.
So it's $350.
Yes.
Okay. Sit down. Okay. Go ahead.
So my fiance's uncle and aunt got on the plane. We had to wait for the 7:45 flight. My cousin Tiara and her friends decided to go drinking in the airport. Me and my fiance slept for a while, and then we woke up about 3. We were looking for them, and they were downstairs at a bar.
They had already drank a bar tab of $79. And Heather and her friend left with this guy they met at the bar. They got back about 7, and we just made it up there in time to get on the 7:45 plane. The flight attendant said there was 5 seats left, and there was just 5 of us, but she miscounted. There was only 4 seats.
Okay, so there was one person who had to get off.
Yeah, but Miss Duncan was hollering and cursing at her, so she made everybody get off the plane. So we all get off the plane, and Heather's still at the bottom of the ramp arguing with this woman. The lady's closing the door. She's trying to open the door, and we're all walking up the ramp, and she's still down there arguing. So my fiance goes down there and tells her, come on, we have to go because the ramp's closed, and you can feel it pulling back. She takes off walking. We meet back up with her at the baggage claim, and she started cursing at the lady in the baggage claim, telling her that she's never been treated like that before, and she flies here and there. But we're on standby. You can't act a fool when you're on standby because you represent the person that gets you the ticket. So after I filled out my claim, I go outside to step outside for a cigarette. She comes running past me saying, stall the police, they're after me, and takes off. I'm sitting there like, what's going on? So I go back in. They got U.S. Homeland Security there, Atlanta police there, the airport police. They're looking for her. She calls my cousin on the phone telling her she's laying in the back of somebody's truck. And that's where it all went from there. So we had to call the reservations in the morning to see if we can get put on the next flight in the morning to go to Vegas. They canceled our tickets because of her actions. We had to purchase new tickets to go home. It was a mess.
It was a mess?
Yeah, disaster.
Okay. You remember what happened that day?
I do.
You remember everything that happened that day, Miss Duncan?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you drunk?
We had all been to the bar. We had all
I
been
didn't ask
drinking.
about anybody else. I only asked about you. Were you drunk?
I was not over my limit, no, ma'am.
You think you were able to drive a car?
No, I would not have drove a car, no, ma'am.
Well, then you were drunk. Then you were legally drunk if you would not have driven a car. Did you create a scene on the plane?
I did not.
Tell me what happened on the plane.
Well, we were on standby all day, like she said.
That's right. You were on standby all day, and now you're on, and they tell us one person
Didn't get on
to
the
get
first
off.
flight. The second flight, 11:30 flight.
Get to the 7:45 flight.
Well, it's very pertinent to the situation because her fiancé was cleared, got off, which made 5 people that now needed to board the last flight.
So there was an extra seat on the 11:30 flight.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
But you wanted to travel with your fiancé.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why didn't somebody else get on that flight?
By then, the ramp, they had unlocked the doors, and once you came out of the door, you could not go back in there after they shut and locked them.
Should have let him go. Then you wouldn't have had trouble, right?
But he came back looking for me.
I got it, Miss Burden. All I'm saying is if he had gone to Vegas, you all would have been in Vegas by that night, right? You know, Miss Drunk Out of Her Mind and all the other people who were drinking would have gotten there. Go ahead.
So the last flight out, 7:45 flight, 4 seats available. She says 4 of us can stay on the flight. 1 person's going to have to stay. Because of all the confusion, we all were turned off that flight. It came down to the last minute. At the door, she's still saying, we have to go. 4 of you can stay on the plane. 1 of you has to go. And all the confusion, we all were escorted off that plane.
Well, the confusion, Miss Burden suggests, is because of your bad behavior.
That is not true.
Were you on the plane?
Yes, ma'am.
Your last name is?
Island.
Tell me about her behavior.
When we got on the plane, we knew that there was 5 seats where there was supposed to be 5 seats available. The lady tells us that there's only 4 seats available. So when I find out there's 4 seats, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get off, even though I know that these are my cousins, the whole reason we're going, but there's 4 people that can go, and I knew that I would be able to get there in the morning. So I was like, I can just get off the plane. Heather grabs me and says, no, don't get off the plane. She's still trying to converse with the lady, and there's only 4 seats available. There was no way that there was going to be another seat, and there was another lady. She was trying to get her bags into the overhead compartment. And we're all trying to help her get the bags. Heather tells me to go sit in the lady's seat. And I'm like, why would I sit in her seat? She already has a seat. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what happened on the plane.
Good. You can sit down. You can stand up, sir. Why have you not yet married?
Money-wise, we saved for a whole year to go to Vegas to get married.
Well, what kind of deposits did you have there?
I have receipts for everything that I put a deposit on and paid for. And I have police reports and statements from the Atlanta Police Department and Air
I'd like to see the
Airways.
police report, please.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I think that when you cause somebody that kind of aggravation, there has to be some punitive action.
I honestly don't feel so. The fact
Well, I don't give a rat's behind what you think.
And later today,
I did not have enough money to pay the whole
Why did you
rent.
get a job?
I did get a job.
Well, if you had a job and you're getting welfare and you're getting some child support, what did you have to ask for charity for?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Alicia Burden claims her cousin's friend, Heather Duncan, caused her and her wedding party to be kicked off an airplane. Alicia says she had to cancel her wedding.
Well, this is a letter from AirTran Airways, directed to this gentleman who was employed by them, and it says, this is to notify you that your non-revenue and reduced rate travel privileges have been suspended for 180 days. This action is being taken as a result of an investigation into an incident concerning an individual traveling on your buddy pass under itinerary whatever. The individual in question is Miss Heather Duncan, that would be you, exhibited unprofessional and abusive conduct both towards our passengers and your fellow crew members. And you are responsible for all actions for your guest passenger, and you are responsible for notifying your past traveler of all policy and procedures. Well, you don't have to be notified to how to behave like a human being. They found that your conduct caused him to lose his privileges for 180 days. Can't hold your booze. And then the woman down at the luggage department says that you threw a pen and paper at her. You behaved very badly, Miss Duncan.
We had been at the airport for 13 hours. We were all very frustrated.
Nobody else caused the same kind of scene that you did.
That's right. We were all very frustrated. Everybody was crying. Everybody was cussing. Our luggage was gone. I was the one that had to step up, talk to the lady about the luggage.
No,
and
no,
I did.
You didn't talk to anybody.
I did.
You
I
were
lost my
screaming
temper.
profanity, and you lost your temper, and you threw a pen at her, and you threw paper at her. But I'm not so sure, Miss Burden, that all of you were thrown off because of her conduct.
Our tickets were canceled because of her.
You mean your buddy pass tickets?
Mhm.
So if you wanted to go to Vegas, you would have had to buy a ticket, purchase a ticket. Why didn't you do that?
We wouldn't have no money to get home.
What kind of work do you do?
I pack parts.
And you?
I'm a homemaker.
You are home together?
Yeah, we live together.
How long have you lived together?
About
8 years.
Yeah.
8 years. You have children, I assume?
Yes.
How many?
3.
Well, so there's no real big rush about getting married. This is not a, this is a marriage that's been coming on for 8 years.
Yeah.
And what's wrong with getting married in Michigan?
That's what we're going to do now.
Good. That's what you should do now.
Yeah.
You caused them a lot of aggravation, Miss Duncan. And I think that when you cause somebody that kind of aggravation, because you couldn't control your actions, there has to be some punitive action that's available.
I honestly don't feel so. The fact
Well,
of the
I
matter-
don't give a rat's behind what you think. This is not a touchy-feely situation, madam. They planned this day, planned to be in Las Vegas, planned to have a wedding, and because of your bad behavior, they weren't able to do that. And I think that you are responsible for some of the pain and suffering, although I usually don't even like to entertain those lawsuits because of your bad behavior. Not only that, but you caused him aggravation as well. You were the only stranger to this wedding party, and you didn't behave yourself. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, she did the best job she could, so, ain't really nothing I can do but keep it moving.
It was very upsetting. I didn't get married.
They should have gotten on the plane, and everything would have been fine.
She got issues and problems that she needs to seek counseling about.
They just wanted money. They got what they wanted, so, keep it moving.
The drunk ain't worth a piece of gum on the bottom of my shoe.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Acree versus Jones. Step forward, please.
28-year-old Karen Acree is suing her ex-boyfriend, Donald Jones, for rent and utility bills. Donald is countersuing for rent, lost wages, and a loan to get her stereo out of pawn.
Miss Acree, according to your complaint, you and Mr. Jones lived together for a period of time in a lease that you both signed.
That is correct.
There was a problem with an altercation that the two of you had. He was put out of the apartment. You claim he owes you some bills, some rent and utilities. Mr. Jones says that he paid up while he was living there. Once he was put out of the apartment, he has no intention of paying for rent and utilities. And he claims that you actually owe him money for some loans and assorted stuff. So he has a counterclaim. When did you move in together?
In July of 2004.
What was the rent on the apartment?
$650.
Who moved in?
Both of us did.
Anybody else?
My daughter.
So the three of you moved in?
Yes, she's 5 years old.
You get child support for her?
Barely, but yes.
What was the financial arrangements you had with Mr. Jones?
He signed the lease as well, and he would be paying half of the rent.
Was that your arrangement, Mr. Jones?
Correct.
Where were you working at the time, Miss Acree?
I was in and out of jobs. I was working through temp agencies.
So you weren't working steadily?
No.
And what about you, Mr. Jones?
I worked for a county road and bridge department, 10, 12-hour days.
Steadily?
Yes,
How much were you earning, Mr. Jones?
$1,200 a month.
And how did you put your money into the rent?
Every 2 weeks I cashed my check, and since she was home during the day, she would take care of the bills. I'd just give her money.
Is that right?
That is not correct, Your Honor.
Well, tell me how you were paying your bills if you weren't working full-time.
I was paying it through TANF, which is Temporary Aid for Families in Need, and that's what I get each month. And then
You get
I would
welfare?
get, yes.
Well, that's an easier term. Let me ask you this question, Ms. Acree. Why in the world would I award you any money from Mr. Jones when the state was paying your rent?
Because he did not pay his share like he was supposed to.
That's not correct.
Okay. What happened in October?
October, he got physically violent with me, threw a cell phone at me, bruised me. I had to call 911 because this happened in front of my child.
So that was in October?
Yes.
October what?
October 10th.
You filed for protective order?
Yes.
What happened with that protective order?
That got dropped.
By whom? What do you mean
By
got
me.
dropped? You dropped it?
Yes.
Why?
Because of the fact that after he had been in jail, he had to go to domestic violence classes, and we went to court and everything. I figured everything was okay.
Did you let him back into the house?
I told him he could come back into the house, yes.
Did he come back into
yes.
the house? When?
In December.
How long?
Until I got evicted in February.
Did you stay with her in January and February?
No, I didn't. I moved out of our apartment on the 10th to my parents' house. And
10th of October?
Correct.
Were you put out by the police, Mr. Jones?
I was arrested there at the apartment.
How long did you stay in jail in October?
2 days.
Did you move back with Miss Acree?
No, ma'am.
You did not?
No, I live with my parents. And in November, she contacted my parents' church trying to borrow money to pay her rent, in which case my dad was contacted by the church because my name was on the lease as well.
And you asked for some money?
From a church, yes, I did.
Why?
Because of the fact I did not have enough money to pay the whole
Why did you
rent.
get a job?
I did get a job.
Well, if you had a job and you're getting welfare and you're getting some child support, what did you have to ask for charity for?
Because at the time I did not have a steady job, but I
So
did
you didn't
after
have a
that.
job. Where are you working now?
Now I'm working at a gas station 40 hours a week.
When did you start this job?
A month ago.
And the previous job?
I had for a couple months until he got me fired from it.
Miss Acree, how long had you been receiving welfare to pay your rent?
For about a year.
Before you met him?
Yes.
So it wasn't because of him that you were in this
No.
financial position?
No, I was in school.
School to learn what?
Accounting.
And?
And I have a degree.
You have a degree in accounting and you're working at a gas station.
Yeah, I
Something
know.
doesn't balance out here, Miss Acree. Why don't you get a job with H&R Block instead of getting a job at a gas station?
Because I'd rather not work at H&R Block, but that's...
You'd rather work at a gas station. So what did you go to school for accounting for?
Because I wanted a degree.
Okay, let me hear about your counterclaim.
Okay, first off, not only did I pay her bills and her rent, she had a car payment that I was helping her out with, cell phone bills also. She worked for a month and a half through the 6 months we were together at that apartment. She also asked me for a loan of $150 to get a car stereo out of the pawn shop.
Which
so I
is
gave
not
her,
true.
So I gave her the $150.
When did you do that?
Do you have the month on that?
No. Don't ask her.
I don't know. I don't have that.
Your Honor, I have the proof right here that it was not $150 and he went with me to the pawn shop. It was $54.
What month?
In March.
March of what year?
This year, 2005.
What were you doing going to the pawn shop with him in March to get your stereo out of POC?
I got it out this year because of the fact that I had to put it in there to make the rest of a car payment.
What I don't understand is if you're not together with him, why do you call him to help you get something out of a pawn shop?
He was calling me, actually, and he asked me, he told me he didn't want me to lose it. And I said, okay, well, it's $54 to get it out. And he said, okay, let's go get it out.
How did you come to go with her to the pawn shop in March?
I didn't go through the pawn shop. She asked me to borrow money, as she has multiple times.
Then you shouldn't lend her money, Mr. Jones.
I'm a slow learner on that one, I guess.
Miss Acree, I don't believe he owes you a dime for rent. I believe that he worked. You did not. I believe that he contributed to the household. You did not. Now, if you had had a job all that
But
time...
I did. I worked at Kodak, and I worked...
Show me proof that you worked anywhere. Show me proof. You're not entitled to any money, Miss Acree. And Mr. Jones, have you learned your lesson?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Goodbye. Your counterclaim's dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step.
हेलो दोस्तों, कैसे हैं आप लोग? आशा करते हैं आप लोग बहुत ही अच्छे होंगे। हमारे चैनल में आप सभी का स्वागत है और मैं भी बहुत ही बढ़िया हूँ। और आप लोग कैसे हैं वो प्यारा सा कमेंट करके ज़रूर बताइएगा। और आज हो रहा है खेत में शॉर्ट कॉमेडी वीडियो शूट हो रहा है, तो हमारा कॉमेडी वीडियो कौन कौन देखता है वो कमेंट बॉक्स में ज़रूर बताइएगा आप लोग फटाफट, क्योंकि बहुत ही अच्छा लगता है दोस्तों। बहुत ही मेहनत करना पड़ता है हम लोगों को, कहाँ कहाँ क्या क्या करना पड़ता है, क्या क्या गालियाँ देना पड़ती है, क्या क्या शब्द बोलना पड़ता है। तो प्लीज़ आप लोग इस शॉर्ट वीडियो को, और ब्लॉग भी बहुत हम लोग जल्दी लेने आने वाले हैं कल या परसों, तो आप लोग ज़रूर ढेर सारा प्यार दीजिएगा उस ब्लॉग को, तो ठीक है। और बहुत ही जल्द कल या परसों में आएगा 10 मिनट तक का वीडियो, बड़ा वीडियो भी आप लोग को देखने को मिलेगा और ढेर सारा एंजॉय। और किसको किसको अच्छा लगता है वो प्लीज़ आप लोग कमेंट बॉक्स में ज़रूर बताइएगा, क्योंकि दोस्तों बहुत ही मेहनत करते हैं हम लोग, बहुत ही मेहनत, क्योंकि पूरा दिन हम लोग देखिए अपने चैनल पे भी काम करते हैं। फिर चैनल का गिनती नहीं कितना चैनल है, और भैया का है 3-4, मेरा 2, प्रिया भाभी का 2, फिर आशुतोष का 1, फिर प्रिया भाभी का 2 है, फिर आशुतोष भैया का 1 है, फिर मेरा है, फिर कॉमेडी वीडियो वाला चैनल है, उस पर सारा पर ध्यान देना पड़ता है, सारे वीडियो डालना पड़ता है। तो प्लीज़ आप लोग सपोर्ट कीजिए। और भी कॉमेडी शूट करना, पूरा दिन भर कॉमेडी शूट करना, दिन भर में 10 वीडियो या 12 वीडियो शूट हो जाता है, दिन भर में पब्लिक भी हो जाता है। मतलब पहले का वीडियो रहता है तो पब्लिक हो जाता है, आज बनता है कल पब्लिक होता है। और हम लोग झगड़ा करते हुए कैसे लगते हैं, हम लोग भाभी और मैं, रियल का झगड़ा नहीं रहता है दोस्तों, वैसे ही गाली गलौज देना पड़ता है, क्योंकि आप लोग की फरमाइश ही ऐसी है तो करना पड़ेगा, आप लोग के लिए सब कुछ कर रहे हैं हम लोग। तो फटाफट शेयर कीजिएगा, क्योंकि पूरा दिन भर शूट करना, फिर रात को एडिट करना, फिर सुबह पब्लिक करना, वो सिर्फ आप ही लोग के लिए हो रहा है। और आप लोग अच्छे से देखें, आप लोग सपोर्ट करें और प्यार दुलार जरूर दें। तो ठीक है, बाय बाय, मिलते किसी नेक्स्ट वीडियो में।